What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, friends and family? How do y'all feel today? It is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026, year of our Lord. How did y'all enjoy the show last night? Hopefully, everybody enjoyed it well and that you got a lot of entertainment out of it. I appreciate y'all for continuing to hold me down. What's up, family? Yeah. Yeah. What's up, family? What's up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I know I got to get that Tej intro together. I've been out of control. I was out in the streets last night, yesterday, after I picked up my car. You know, Lambo Town is his own person. He's his own entity. And so we got to give a little bit of grace. But I am here every day with y'all. So, you know, we here. We here. Good morning. I see y'all. K Cooper, Desiree, Sabrina, J Cole. What up? What up? JD Walker. What up, my dog? Steel City Muscle says good morning, OG and the Chasers. Ivy Jefferson. Elzino. Grizz, Azriel, Chris Cunningham, Jesse Xavier, Yakar, Vicious, Josh, Sabrina, Bull City, Chip the Great, Pint for Pint, what up? Slan sells cars. Y'all like Mimi, huh? See, I knew it. You got to trust the vision. A lot of times people don't be trusting the vision because people don't like change. And really, that's what it is. People don't like change. And so because people are not used to or don't like change, it is very, very difficult for them to accept or to understand what the vision is initially. But you got to trust the kid. You got to trust the kid. If you don't trust the kid, who else can you trust? I've been doing this and providing y'all with all of this good content and this vision for growth for all of these years, and y'all still be doubting Time Dog? How dare you? Why would you be doubting that Time Dog is gonna come through with the ooh-op shebang when you know I always come through? You know I always deliver. You know I deliver. What are y'all thinking? Oh, Anton, I don't know. Anton this, Anton that. What? So wait a minute. You doubting the king? You doubting that the king is going to be able to make the adjustments necessary to be successful? How disrespectful that a person that has the type of track record that I have in these internet streets, you doubt the inevitable. You doubt that I'm going to not deliver? What in the world is going on? What in the world is happening with Carmen Sandiego? You know what I'm saying? What is happening? But we here. We here. All right, I got a heck of a show lined up for y'all today, including the different things that y'all saying that y'all like to get me to do different stuff or to attach myself to different things and different news that I may or may not be familiar with. So of course we're gonna go ahead and navigate through that also. But what's happening, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Y'all locked in? See how they love you now, Mimi? First they question it, then they start to say, you know what? You may be on to something, Anton. You may be on to something. Never doubted Algorithm Daniels. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog. Best day to do. Oh, I did vlog yesterday. So I got a vlog dropping for y'all on the Patreon, and then we got a Patreon live stream on Saturday. All right? Back to back, in between 2 days. Got a Patreon live stream, but we're going to do it in the daytime. We're going to do it in the morning time. Not the morning, but like a little bit around the time, a little bit after when we would do the Millionaire Morning Show. The Lambo ride beautiful. It rides beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. Um, Man, I mean, I can show y'all a little bit of footage, I guess, technically, if I just really wanted to. I need connection. Got to get the footage off of there, see what's happening. See if I can get that footage off there. External. Snap, we got a lot of footage yesterday. Untitled. There's definitely a lot of Lambo time footage yesterday. Where do I put this at? The downloads folder? Y'all gonna like this one. Y'all gonna definitely like this one. If y'all want to get an inside look of what my life is like, what I drive, what I do on a regular basis, let me see if I can pull a little bit of that up. I don't know if it's going to be available like that. This is what I've been driving in the meantime right there. Been driving a Hellcat. I haven't had an opportunity to really put a lot of next year. And so I really like this car. Really like what it represents. It's me. And so as a result, I pulled it out. Put up the nav, pulled out the Hellcat, and let's start it up. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to get this audio though. Yeah, baby. Gotta have a little bit of American muscle. So I'm downloading it so that I can have this edited for y'all. I had this edited and dropped off for y'all today. It's a lot of footage. It's a whole lot of footage. It's a lot of footage. It is insane. Look how much we missed this. Yeah, it's really, it's taking off even more. Look how beautiful this thing is. Oh, I hadn't seen the wheels with the Armor All and stuff on it in a long time. I missed you. All right, that's enough. No more. I'm dropping everything. Again, all of my stuff is on the Patreon, so if you want to go and check it out. I only really vlog on the Patreon nowadays, so. Do you keep it on a trickle charger when you're not driving it? Yes. Yes. Every car that I'm not driving, well, not every car, because some of them get used, like you got your daily, like the Nav is not going to be on a trickle charger. The Porsche, stuff like that. If I'm not driving it, I do keep it on a trickle charger. Yes, I do keep it on trickle chargers. So I do it just like the dealerships. Just like the dealerships, I keep them on trickle chargers, and I go from there. So we got that. We got the live stream coming up on Patreon this weekend on Saturday. And we got a lot going on. It's a whole lot going on. All I've been doing is recording. All I've been doing is getting to it. So, you know, y'all will have all of that insight. And I'm back vlogging today too. So, but one of the vlogs is not just to give y'all my lifestyle. I also give y'all life pointers, life tips. I tell y'all about a lot that's going on inside of my life. I give you some insight on business, all of that type of stuff. So the vlog is not just a regular vlog. The vlog is very much the things that I'm showing you and the things that I'm seeing, and I really tell you some of the stuff that I see and I go through on a regular basis and how you can make adjustments from a business perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody had requested for me to do a video about salary progression, right? And so in one of the upcoming videos that I have, I'm out and about, but I'm actually breaking down. Like I'm not sitting in front of the screen and doing a salary progression conversation. I'm actually out in the streets while at the same time interacting and doing things and giving you insight on how you can grow from a salary perspective. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of interaction. And so everything that I drop on the Patreon, I want it to be fruitful. I want it to be something that's helpful. I want you to be able to take something from it outside of just the entertainment aspect of things. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Build a Daniels car garage fleet. I don't know. Me and my daughter has been working on it. We talking about it. Somebody says, go to the prison to save black men. Well, by the time that you hit prison, it's probably already too late for me to save you. So you need to go and hold your mama accountable. Don't look to me to save you from prison. Look to your daddy and your mama and hold them accountable, and then hold yourself accountable. Hold the culture accountable. Why they always want the person that's doing the right thing to come and save the person that's doing the wrong thing from prison? You save your own kids. Go to the prison and save black men. Well, if we sitting here in prison, then that's already the problem in itself. The foundation of how you got there is really the question that we need to ask ourselves. How did you end up in prison, sir? Why would I spend my resources towards somebody that already done made bad decisions instead of spending my resources or my time focused on people that hasn't even got there yet? This is why you don't listen to these stupid women. And I'm not saying that all women are stupid, but this is why you listen. Boomers, Gen Xers, take a bow. When y'all keep saying that older people are wise, no, they're not. They just old. They just old. Boomers, Gen Xers don't speak unless spoken to, okay? We not asking for y'all advice no more. We not trying to figure it out. I think that there's some people that are incredibly insightful. And so those are usually the people that's already in the bag chasers. Those are the people that we already attach ourselves to. There are a group, a separate, small, very small, separate group of black people or people that are older in general that can give you some insight. And they're super sweet. They're awesome. They're awesome. But then there's a group that think that just because they old, that you supposed to listen to them. And no, we not doing that no more. We not doing that no more. We not interested in seeing what y'all talking about. We not interested in trying to understand what you think. You do it. Y'all had 70, 80 years on this earth and you ain't got nothing to do it. Why you asking somebody else to do it and you can't do it yourself? If you've existed on this earth for 80 years and you can't do nothing for nobody except for type hard in the chat, then we got a bigger problem on our hands, because I would hold you accountable for not being fruitful in your life. Why you not doing it? Why you can't go and save them? How come they don't listen to your big head? Huh? Listen. This is what I'm not going to do. This is what I am. And I've been the same way the whole time. So if you offended, that's cool. I'm not tripping about it. I don't get offended when you say dumb stuff inside of the chat, right? Two things that we not listening to anymore unless you've already got the proven stats. We not listening to boomers and Gen Xers. And men should stop letting women tell them what to do. We're not anymore going to sit here and have these conversations with people. Oh, wait a minute. You back again? Who deleted her? You got the same name. Hey, y'all. If anybody deletes anybody, if anybody censors anybody, don't censor people, y'all. Let them be dumb inside of the chat. Let them get it off, okay? But again, we're not listening to these boomers that keep on telling us what we should and we shouldn't do. We don't listen to people that put cap locks on their words so that they can try to get your attention. If you've been on this earth for that amount of time and you can't even do for yourself and you still begging for reparations, see, that's how I know I control them. Because the minute that I say you putting cap locks on what you say, you uncap it. So you care about what I say. I would venture to say that that's probably not even you. You probably a little boy. Because you type like a little boy. You write dumb as D-U-M. It's D-U-M-B. And then they automatically had the account that they knew that they was going to get banned from. And that's the account that they switched over to. Oh. Somebody said invite her up. I don't feel like it. Man, y'all know I don't have in-depth conversations with homeless people. I don't have in-depth conversations with people that's not worth my time. I help them. You know what I'm saying? I give them money to get some food for their family. You know what I'm saying? I try to figure out how to help them and I give them money on the streets and stuff like that. I don't sit there and conversate with, oh, they recapitalize now because they're being rebellious. Oh, anyways, y'all ready to continue on with the show? Y'all ready to get it popping? Again, great show last night on Room 9 After Hours. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We in there. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I am going to read some of these Cash Apps and Super Chats shortly. And then we're going to get to it. But before I do, I always like to play a video that somebody sent me. I don't like to... It may be a video that I don't plan on reacting to, but I thought that it would be worth a conversation. So I like to start it off with the video that somebody sends me of somebody saying something that I may be finding interesting, right? And so today we're going to go over to a young lady, and I think that this is the sentiment. This is something that I was talking about last night. And so when I woke up and I seen this, I said, speaks to exactly what I was saying last night. So let's start it off like this, all right? Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Life is really lifing right now. I never really post about me crying on here at all, just because I love to keep my content just very drama free, happy. But I feel it's just you never know what people are going through, and life is just lifing right now. I'm just so overwhelmed and stressed. I have not had a job in forever. I've been applying to so many jobs. I've had interviews. No one's hiring me. And I'm applying to jobs that I'm well overqualified for, which is very frustrating. And I don't know what to do. My lease is up on my car, and I'm I can't even keep my car because I don't even I can't even show pay stubs to and I have no problem, I don't know, it's just I am so stressed. And I'm just thinking even if I get a job, I can't even commute to the job because I can't even keep my car. And I'm just I don't even know. This is like so. I like have been just like, you know, when you're like, you feel like that frog in your throat and it's just like, oh, like that's how I've been feeling the last few hours. And like, now that I've cried and like let that out, I feel a little bit better. But like, oh my gosh, I'm just so overwhelmed and stressed. And like, I just want things to look up, but it's like, and now I'm like almost done with school, and now it's like, how am I even gonna get to school? Because I commute to school, I drive to school, and I probably can take the bus, but it's like, I don't even know. I'm just so stressed. Like, I don't know, I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, bruh, I wish that content creation would just pop off for me so I could just I don't know, just be like financially free, and then also just like take care of people that I care about, because I know that they're also stressed and going through things as well. But oh my gosh, Jesus, please, like, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and cry. But I feel better. But oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna delete this because this is like so crazy. Like, my eyes are so red.
Too late. Well, now that she didn't delete it and now that we see what's happening, I got questions. I have questions. So my first question is always the same. The first question is always the same. Why, when y'all go through something, women in general, is the first thing that y'all do? Y'all don't call a friend. Y'all don't have a conversation with your mom. You don't call your dads. You don't reach out to your boyfriends, anything like that. The first thing that y'all do is y'all pick up a device and y'all say, all right, I'm about to record this video on this camera, and I'm going to say, oh my God, I can't believe it. I wanted to cry and all of this stuff. And so the first question that I have for y'all is, are y'all really venting, or is this performative? And I'm not saying that what she's saying is performative, because I'm also speaking to the broader general population of women, black, white. There's no limit to what you see. I'm trying to figure out, what is it that y'all get from this? Is this drab bagging on a lower level? Do y'all have y'all cash apps inside of the y'all descriptions? Do y'all have y'all GoFundMe links? Are y'all begging for people to subscribe to your channels, or to, you know what I'm saying, follow you on any of these social media platforms so that you can get it popped off? I never understood at all, not even a little bit, the crying and the begging online when you're going through something. All right. That's the first question that I have. The second question that I have is this: what's wrong with public transportation? If you can't get it, we're going to get to the job conversation in a second. If you can't get a job, if you feel like you're overqualified for the jobs that you can't get, which that's an issue in itself. Hey, somebody time out Moonlight. We don't like spamming in the chat, all right? You can complain, you can whine, you can do all of those type of things, and we cool with you doing it all, but you can't spam the chat. That's one of the rules. So don't block her. Time her out. Don't block her. I actually think it's a bot. But don't block her. Just time her out so that we can teach her the proper way to complain inside of the chat. All right? We don't want her to be disruptive by spamming. Now, back to what I was saying. What's wrong with public transportation? She literally said, I can catch public transportation, but, and then she never provided an explanation on why public transportation wasn't an option.
I just want things to look up, but it's like, and now I'm like almost done with school, and now it's like, how am I even gonna get to school? Because I commute to school, I drive to school, and I probably can take the bus, but it's like, I don't even know. I'm
What's wrong with taking the bus? This is why I say a lot of times that we're spoiled. This is why I say a lot of times that we're coddled. You don't have to, if you can't afford the car, but let me tell you what people gonna do. They're gonna figure out how to get another car. You know why? Because we too good to catch the bus. We're too good to, and a lot of times it's also the people that are around us. We think that people are gonna judge us because we taking public transportation. I take public transportation a day. Out of convenience, I think it's a much more effective way to get around sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like driving and I want to catch the queue line. Sometimes it's too busy to go a certain way downtown, or I know it's a certain thing happening. Maybe a festival. When the Lions was, when they held the NFL draft downtown, yesterday downtown was booming because people were watching the World Cup in the park. The Chris Brown concert is going to be down here. And when it's multiple teams playing at the same time, you might have the Lions and you might have the Pistons playing at the same time. It could be anything, right? And so I'll jump on public transportation. I'll jump on the queue line. I'll jump on the bus. I'll jump on the people mover because it's more convenient. And so I don't mind taking public transportation. Sometimes people come down here that I know and they say, hey, Anton, can I use your parking spot? Either at your office or can I park at your building? You know what I'm saying? Can I use one of your parking spots? And then I'm going to just take public transportation to the event that I'm going to. And I'm like, cool, I ain't tripping about that. Yeah, whatever. What's so bad about public transportation? Y'all got this, listen. Y'all got this thing in y'all mind that only YNs and only poor people are taking public transportation. Hey, somebody time out Moonlight real quick because still spamming the chat with the same thing, saying the same thing over and over again. Y'all got this thing in y'all mind that only poor people take public transportation. Bro, there's millionaires and billionaires that catch the subway in New York. I know people that have six-figure jobs that catch the bus every day and or will do a combination of catching the bus and working and walking to work every day. How don't I take public transportation and y'all seen it on the vlog? What are you talking about? I take public transportation all the time. There's people that make a lot of money that catch the subway, they catch the train, they catch the bus, they catch the rail system, they walk to work. It's a whole lot of people that you don't even realize are taking these modes of transportation because transportation is a convenience. It's not about whether or not you impressing other people. Why are we too good? You're literally on the internet complaining about the fact that you don't have no money, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no opportunity. Thank you, QD Executive Sweep MLE. I take public transportation all the time. You may not have seen me take public transportation a lot of times because you may not watch me that much. I don't get it. We have to change our mindset and our way of thinking. We are spoiled, we are coddled, and we can't wait to tell people about what our problems are, but not really trying to be solutions. If you went, she says she in school. If you in school, you supposed to be broke. You ain't always supposed to be up at that particular time. I used to take my little bike, my e-bike. I used to be riding around the city on the e-bike before I got a flat tire and then I wound up giving it away. I was on the e-bike all the time. Long way, you just being difficult like a lot of these other people. You're just being difficult. People are trying to find first of all, I do it because I want to. In this woman's situation, she's saying that she doesn't have the availability of resources. So she's complaining about the fact that she has to give her lease back. Why would anybody want to go and take out a car note, especially when you're down bad? You have the ability to take the bus, which is literally nothing. You're going to save a whole lot of money, remove a whole lot of stress from your back, but we got to have it. We got to do it even if we can't afford it. I know a millionaire that don't own a car. We probably pass by them every day and they don't even own a car. All right, good job, Long Way. I got you. You right. Whatever you say, big dog. You know, and the funniest part about it is, um, people will sit there and tell you about your life like they living with you and that that like they meeting out with you every day. People will literally tell you about your life. No, you don't. This sassiness, this perspective, this I want to be a super sassy, combative male. Gotta stop. It gotta stop, bro. It gotta stop. Real talk. Gotta stop. 100%. Sometimes I even catch Ubers because I don't feel like driving. It's gotta stop, bro. You know millionaires in Detroit. You know them. You know all of the millionaires in Detroit. You're right. We not arguing with sassy men no more, bro. We not arguing. Nah, male baddies. We not gonna do it. We not gonna pull up the footage. We not gonna show them. We not gonna do all of that. We gonna let them have it. We gonna let them have it. Shout out to all of the male baddies in the building. I see why the women is the way that they are because y'all the way that y'all are. Now I get it. They mimicking the behavior of the men. They mimicking the behavior of the men. Shout out to all of the male baddies out here. Shout out to the male baddies. Oh, I'm not about to. Shout out to y'all. I don't I don't understand it. I am very confused. Real talk. Real talk. I don't understand it. And let me say one more thing about this whole situation that I don't understand about this woman is I believe that most of these women out here are broke. I believe that all of this projecting of yo, I'm doing okay, whatever, so on and so forth. I think that a lot of these women are broke. And it's nothing wrong with being broke. I think that we need to have a reset though. I think we gotta have a reset. Anton, what does that reset mean? You don't want to be out here struggling by yourself, alone unnecessarily. Why are y'all doing this? Slimmy is not okay with me saying it. Yeah, he'll take it up with me tonight. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do a show tonight. Women, y'all don't even have to struggle this way. Why are y'all in struggle mode? I've never seen women. Listen, a group of people whose main asset is their femininity are out here struggling intentionally. What is wrong with y'all? How? How? How are so many women? Y'all said, what is a male baddie? The sassy ones. The sassy ones. The ones that want to the ones that's going to argue with you about your life. Like, the ones that's always telling you what you don't do. Like, What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How you gonna tell me what I do? The ones that let me be quiet. I don't understand. Now, sassy don't have to do nothing with zesty. Zesty is being gay. Sassy is being extra. Sassy is being extra. It's a difference. All right. Zesty is gay. I didn't say zesty. I said sassy. They real argumentative. They go back and forth with their girl all the time or with a woman all the time. They got to tell them off and let them know. That's what that is. All right. Sassy is doing a lot. It's doing all of the extras. It's trying to figure out what everybody doing, counting other people money, telling them what they ain't got, and all of this other stuff. That's sassy. All right. Zesty is gay. Sassy is extra. You know what I'm saying? They done? You got the clarification? Yeah, acting like your mama. Why you acting like your mama, bro? Zesty, zesty is not necessarily gay, but zesty is like gay tendencies, feminine tendencies. You know what I'm saying? You can't prove it, but you may suspect it. Sassy is just being super extra as a man, unnecessarily, being extra combative. You know what I'm saying? Unwarranted. You can get sassy sometimes, but not zesty. I understand it. I get it. Bro, people with resources are not catching the bus for miles in Detroit. Okay. You're right. Okay. Okay. I'm with you. But again, I don't understand, and I'm gonna go over to this next part. I'm about to a Maddie. They Maddies? Okay, so they're not bad. A male baddie is a Maddie? Who just came up with that? Y'all are wild. I ain't never heard of no junk like that. A male baddie is a Maddie? Yo, we about to start using that. We about to start. And you know what's so funny, Heather Woods? I take the bus in a lot of different cities that I don't even. I take the bus when I'm in Biloxi. I don't even rent a car. I take the bus. I take the bus here in the city. I take the subway in New York. I've jumped on the bus in Miami. Shout out to all of my maddies, man. The male baddies are maddies. All right, ladies. The male baddies are maddies from now on. Shout out to whoever came up with that inside of the chat. But let me tell y'all, let me tell you, that's your pup's name is Maddie. Ladies, ladies, ladies. Y'all, I'm not telling y'all to be prostitutes. That's not what I'm saying. I want to be very clear because I know that people can take things that I'm communicating and they can make an extreme version of it. What I'm saying is your femininity is your superpower. No woman should be homeless. No woman should be homeless. No woman at all should be out here on the struggle bus trying to figure it out. It's okay to catch the bus, but being on the struggle bus for an extended period of time is crazy. You a girl. Ain't no way in the world that you supposed to be out here trying to figure out life. What are you talking about? You're supposed to be taking a nap, shutting up and going to sleep and trying to figure out, you know, when you gonna go to the Asian nail shop and defy the boycotts. I don't even think that women should be voting. I'm not saying that women should not have the right to vote, But I don't even think that women should be voting, bro. I think that they should be asking a man, asking a husband, so who we voting for, babe? Y'all should just be on this. Y'all shouldn't even be concerned about certain male business inside of your household. Only thing you should be doing is telling the person that you're with, hey, my check engine light came on, or the oil is saying that the oil need to be changed, babe. Okay, cool, I got you. That's the only thing that y'all should be having a conversation about. You shouldn't be sitting there arguing. You shouldn't be sitting there cantankerous. All of this extraness that y'all got going on right now is unbecoming of a woman. It's really too masculine and it's unattractive. It's really masculine and it's unattractive to certain groups of men. We don't, honestly, we really don't care. We just making conversation. Oh, yeah? Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Keep it at 100 with you. It really shouldn't even be a conversation. What you talking about? What? Y'all should just be telling us stories that we don't want to hear that we pretending like we care about. Hey, babe, my girlfriend said this today. Babe, you know what the girl said? That's the only thing y'all should be telling us. And then we gonna act like we care. Word? Dang, that's crazy. That's wild. Man, tell your girl to get herself together. All right. Cool. And then occasionally she'll hit you with you're not even listening to me. I am listening to you. And then you run down a little bit. You give her the talking points. Girlfriend got left outside by her man. I know exactly what you were saying. I was just listening to both at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Ladies, y'all shouldn't be out here struggling. Shouldn't being defiant. Even you daughters, because I know a lot of y'all got daughters. Y'all be bringing y'all daughters. They be 20, 21, 22. Y'all bring them to the meetup. Y'all got y'all daughters. I was just talking to my daughter this morning. She's doing her taekwondo thing. She's out. She said, Dad, you was right. She said, Dad, you was right. I said, what was I right about? She said, look, young girls should not be going off to college. Word for word. That's literally what she said. She said, Dad, you was right. She said, I'm so glad I listened to you. I said, that's my baby.
Hello?
Hey, baby. I'm on the live
What's up?
stream. You busy?
Yeah. I'm at the competition right now. I just waited.
Okay. Can you talk for us? Quick second.
Yeah, what's up?
When we was talking this morning and you said I was right, what was you saying I was right about?
Hold on, Marcus, see my spot. I was basically saying that you are right about me leaving and going out of the state or far away for college. Like, it doesn't make sense because there's no way for me and you to be able to like not communicate, because I can still communicate with you, but you don't have like the same access, you and mom, to where if anything happened or were to happen, then I would be right in a close distance to y'all.
Thank you, baby. Go ahead. Have fun
Of
at your
course.
competition.
Okay.
All right,
bye.
You don't need to be you don't need to be in these streets. You don't need to be. What are you doing? What are you doing so far away from home? But you so busy wanting to be out there so that you can go out there and do some stuff that you ain't supposed to do. And I'm right about the fact that I said that if your child last night, some of y'all was trying to debate with me, some of the people that was debating with me on the panel. If your child is messed up, then it's a strong possibility that it's you, the parent. It's you, the parent. People keep on trying to tell me, oh, no, you know what? People are just, no, they're going to do what you teach them. They're going to be what you put into them when they're younger. They're going to do exactly what you put into them. If your child is not what they supposed to be, or at the very least, I'm not saying that they got to be the most successful person in the world, but morals, character, being nice, feminine, genuine, a good person. If your child is a demon spawn, chances are that's a parenting problem. That is a parenting problem. That is not a problem that comes along with, oh man, they just woke up one day and said that they was going to be a demon. No. Y'all not going to sell me on that. I'm too old. I done seen too much. I done mentored too many people. I done mentored all of my nephews, too many young guys, my daughter, the whole 9 yards. And they came up exactly what the blueprint is, and they have the exact mentality. And I've been saying for years, no, my daughter ain't about to go off to college. She's going to stay here right under my covering, and she's going to do this, and this is the curriculum that she's going to go into, and this is the life that she's going to live, and she's going to do this, she's going to do. If other cultures are able to do it all the time and more successful, why can't we? Why are we having such a hard time wrangling in our children when other cultures do exactly what their parents, hey, listen, you're going to grow up. This is what you're going to be. This is the career path that you're going to take, or you're going to get married, or you're going to go off to the U.S. and you're going to get this education. People from other countries are able to control their children from long distances and say, this is the expectation for your life. This is how you're going to do things. And how about you go about doing this? But for whatever reason, we sit here having a problem with our kids and saying stuff like, oh no, they just went rogue. What do you mean they just went rogue? How? They're supposed to do exactly what you mean. You don't know your kid? You don't know what your kid need in order to get over that hump? You having problems getting to your own seed from your DNA, from your blood. If you can't get them right, then you don't need to be a life coach. You don't need to be a manager. You don't need to be telling nobody what to do. We don't even want to know your opinion. Your children are demon spawns. You can't even get your own household in order. Why should we listen to you? If your girl, right? If your girl don't listen to you, if your exes hate you, we need to lower your ability to communicate down a notch because we don't want to hear from you. Wait a minute. Your girl don't listen to you? Why are you giving advice on the internet? Wait a minute. Your wife is popping out saying wild stuff on the internet about you? Why are we taking your advice? You don't have no control over your own household. Your kids are demon spawns and they don't listen to you? What are we talking to you about? If you can't even get your own household in order, what are we having a conversation with you about? Why are we taking what you say seriously? I don't think that children have a choice, K. Cooper. What do you mean? You're a child. You don't have a choice. You have the illusion of a choice. I'm saying it nicely to make it seem like you got a choice on whether or not I'm telling you to do what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to do it, but I'm saying it nicely. I'm being a benevolent dictator. Hey, babe, you gonna take care of those dishes today? I wasn't looking for a yes or no. That's a rhetorical question. That's me saying, get them dishes done before I get back, or else it's going to be some furniture moving in here. Now, I just so happen to be a nice person, and so I'm saying it to you nicely, but let me find out that them dishes is not done. Oh, so you... Hey, did she do them dishes like I told her to do? I want to make sure that it wasn't an emergency. Did y'all go to the hospital today or something? Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I handled it. We're going to fix this right now. We're going to break that horse right now. We're going to establish hierarchy. Y'all ever dealt with a dog that's food aggressive? When he growls at you the first time, you got to establish dominance early, or it's going to be a problem when they grow up. They're going to become more food aggressive. They're going to become more toy aggressive. You're not going to even be able to put your... Nigga, who you talking to? You got to grab the dog up immediately and let them know, I'm top of the food chain in here. You got to grab them up. The minute that you see it, you got to root it out of them. Same thing with children. Same thing with women. Oh, he's so nice. Then she go out and she do something that's disrespectful. And you sitting there arguing back and forth with him. Babe, what are you doing? Why are you showing yourself like that? Why are you entertaining? What are you arguing with her for? Cut her off. I haven't been able to get in touch with you. Yeah, I know. I can't. You just explain it to her. I can't associate myself with people that carry themselves the way you do. I got a reputation to uphold, and if you're going to be an extension of me, I don't want you embarrassing me in the streets. I got to go. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking for an explanation. If the next text message or conversation that you having with her is not, you know what, I'm going to do better. Cut her off. Cut her off. It's over. And you ain't got to do it on no hateful type junk. You just got to go your own way. You already explained it to her the first time. You're going to keep repeating yourself. You setting the standard. You setting the pattern. You setting the precedence of how your relationship is going to go long term. Hey, listen, there's some stuff I'm willing to discuss. Some things is crossing the line. I can't have you disrespecting me like that. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing. They're going to be so disappointed because they're not used to seeing that side of you. All they used to seeing is the fun side, is the nice side. On room 9, I'm so nice to everybody. And then sometimes I'll get fed up and I'll put something in. I'll say a little statement. Next thing you know, everybody back on their game. They back on their job. Keep on negotiating with women. What? That's what they say, Anton. How come the girls don't argue with you? How come they don't go off on you like that? Because I carry a big stick and I wield it appropriately. Some people will even say, well, it's because you pay them. That's what carrying a big stick is, and wielding it appropriately. When you establish, if you going 50-50 with a chick, or if she feel like she got some kind of hierarchy over you, then she feels comfortable enough to be able to say, she on your level. She on your level. That's what happens when you share responsibilities and you in a partnership and you're not in a relationship. That's why I pay all of the bills, because I say what happens and what don't happen. Now you have a choice of whether or not you want to come and get all of the bills paid, but I pay all of the bills because I make all of the decisions. Shout out to Ian Harrell. I appreciate you, Ian, for holding us down. Thank you, my friend. Mike, that dude. Shout out to Mike, that dude. I appreciate you. John Teal. That's why you can't stay with a woman. You never move into a woman's house. Never move into her house because she can put you out. What do you mean? What? No, get your stuff. Okay. Shout out to John Teal and Mike, that dude. I appreciate you. Let me read some of these super chats. Never gonna move in with a woman. Stay in your house that you're curating? Nah. Coach Chris says, ever thought of an Eminem or Big Sean collab? I just ran into Big Sean. I literally just ran into Big Sean. Coach Chris, no, I haven't. But then again, I got so many favors in my pocket, Coach Chris, to be honest with you. I got a ton of favors. Ton of interviews, ton of a whole lot of things, both offline and in person. Like a lot of people, for example, I'll give you an example. So a lot of people have been seeing me collaborate with Stephen A. Smith, right? And so Stephen A. Smith owes me interviews. He owes me the platform, but I'm not the type of person that'll just, oh man, let's just hurry up and do the collab. I'm waiting till it makes sense. I'm waiting till it's the right time, the right situation, and then I'll be like, hey man, let's lock in. I learned from Coach Chris, I learned from Master P, right? 50 Cent told this story about Master P. And 50 Cent said before he really, really blew up, he had ran into Master P, and Master P was like, yo, let me pay you to do these 5 shows or whatever. And it was more, I guess, more than he had ever really gotten or whatever. And so he had paid him ahead of time, but they didn't do the shows right away. Well, 50 Cent took off. 50 Cent took off, right? Like really blew up. And then Master P was like, hey, you ready to lock in on them shows? But by that time, 50 Cent's price had went through the roof because, you know, he had really exploded and the club was on popping. Get Rich or Die Trying had dropped, and so his number was crazy, but Master P had already paid him for the 5 shows. And 50 Cent cites this story, and he's like, yeah, Master P, he a businessman. He a businessman. So I don't always be in a rush to cash in favors or relationships or tap into that or whatever. I just nurture it. I don't always say, yo, let's hurry up and do it because it'll be good content. I don't want good content. I want the best content. I can stand on my own. My platform doesn't need somebody else in order for me to really be able to thrive. So what I do is I focus on building a relationship and locking in the business contacts, and then I'll cash that in as I see fit. So I'm not tripping about it. It's not something that I'm pushing. Shout out to Coach Chris. Good question. Chris Cunningham says, get the Gentani exhaust for the Lamb. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do to the Hellcat. Still trying to figure it out, bro. Yale, shout out to Yale W says, good morning, AD. Been at the back of the congregation for about 1.5 years taking notes. Shout out to my bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Finally join the bag chasers. Time to run it up. I like that. P. Shank says, good morning, Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to P. Shank. You've been rocking with me for years, too. I love you, baby. Jesse V. Royalty says, there's too much opportunity in America to be front camera crying. Agreed. Mark E. McFly says, we never talk about females can be dusty, too. I don't deal with women making less than 100,000 get on my level. Hey, I don't see no problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. But here's my questions to you, Marty. Is it that you don't deal with women making less than 100,000 because you want her to pay her own way or pay a portion of her way? Or is it that you just don't think that the woman is as quality as you if she makes less than what you used to making? Because it's a couple different reasons why guys say that. King Duba, shout out to King Duba, says internet panhandling is how they fish and beg for money. Fake tears and for attention from the simps. She's exploiting her life choices for content. And Crimson in the building. What up, Crimson? Crimson says, good morning, Lord Anton. LOL, love these social platform crash outs are getting egregious. It's so bad it's actually comical. Hard work pays off. Yeah, I agree. Beto Royale says, I wanted to stay out the chat today, but you're a mess. Salute to the bag chasers. Maddie's is crazy. I might name that show tonight Maddie's. Tucker Luck says, shout out to you for the 20 ball. Says, heard a story where a publisher tried to finesse the way out of a $250 million bonus payout to a gaming developer. Is that a common in corporate? The developer met all of the financial benchmarks to earn a bonus. Yeah, they'll push you. Most of the time, it's not common like that. But like when you're dealing with somebody on a one-on-one basis, because most corporate environments have a budget, and once they sign a letter of intent, then it kind of translates into them paying you. Actually, to be honest with you, most of the time, these contractors or other companies can finesse way more money out of a corporate environment because it's not their money. Steve Montage says they not itches no more. They unbecomers. Shout out to Longway ENT for being a good sport, bro. I appreciate you, said Maddie. See, the one thing about my chat is that they don't mind me going back off on them. Mike Davis says, Anton, I need a small percentage when you make my word go viral. Oh, that was you, Mike? Salute to all the Maddies out there. Don't break a nail. Man, listen, that is hilarious. Dean Murray says, what sounds does that dog make again when you snatch it up? Well, first of all, they growl. 392Q says, my brother told his girl, I can be loyal or pay all the bills, but I'm not doing both. Let me write that down. That'll be my icebreaker question for the night. I love mining off of the chat. I love mining off of the chat. That will be my icebreaker tonight. D Major Scaling Up Score says, how you feel about females making more than males? I don't mind it. It don't make no difference to me. I don't think it's a big deal. Doesn't mean anything. Because it doesn't matter how much she makes. I think that all women are looking to not have to work as much as they working. So that's just my opinion. I want to share this video with you guys. It's of a testimony. Let me see if I can get that up. Where's it at? I want to play this video for y'all. It's of a testimony of a woman. I think she was testifying before Congress, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a very interesting video, and I think that it kind of speaks to what I was just talking about. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Hi, my name is Sheridan Gorman. My name is Jessica Gorman. I'm the mother of Sheridan Grace Gorman. Sheridan was 18 years old. She was a freshman at Loyola University, Chicago. She was beautiful. She was funny, faithful, loving, full of plans to build something with her life. On March 19th, Sheridan went with friends to the lakefront in Chicago because they hoped they might see the northern lights. She never saw those lights. The man accused of murdering my daughter is Jose Medina, an illegal immigrant from Venezuela who should not have even been in this country. And even after committing a crime and having an outstanding warrant, he was left on the streets of Chicago to murder my innocent American child. But this story, it's not about him. This story is about my Sheridan. It's about how failed border policies, sanctuary city laws, and twisted leaders refused to cooperate with ICE. They sent her to her grave. It's about a government and politicians that forgot their first priority. And the question before this committee is painfully simple. When did protecting our American citizens stop being your first priority? And even more important, why did protecting our American citizens stop being your first priority? I want an explanation, I need one, and I deserve one. But first I want you to know who my Sheridan was. I want you to understand what we all lost because of your mismatched priorities. My husband and I have always joked that our older daughter, Madeline, is our pride. Well, Sheridan was our joy. From the moment she was born, Sheridan was pure energy, enthusiasm, laughter, fun. She was the kind of person who made every room brighter and usually a little louder. Which is why when Sheridan was in kindergarten, I remember going to her first parent-teacher conference. I was a little nervous because while she was the sweetest little girl you could possibly imagine, she was also the chattiest. I remember sitting down across from her teacher, bracing myself and asking with bated breath, "So, how's my Sheridan?" I'll never forget when the teacher looked at me very seriously and said, "I only have one thing to say to you." Oh, my stomach dropped. Then she said, "Your Sheridan stalks the buddy bench." I remember blinking at her. "I'm sorry, what?" She said, "Your Sheridan stalks the buddy bench." I was totally confused, and I asked, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And what exactly is a buddy bench? And the teacher smiled and said, "It's a beautiful thing." She explained that They had a bench in the play yard. She said that not all kids are as outgoing and confident as your Sheridan, so the children were told that if they wanted to play or if they felt lonely, left out, shy, they could sit on that bench. And then the other children were told that if they saw someone sitting there, they should go over, talk to them, ask them to play. And apparently Sheridan, my tiny kindergartner, had appointed herself the guardian of that bench. Every day at recess, instead of heading straight to the swings or joining in a game of kickball, my daughter hung back and hovered by the nearby tree, just watching that bench, just waiting, just in case someone might need her. Kids didn't even have a chance to fully sit down on the bench before Sheridan was rushing over to take them, to take their hand, pull them away. Girls, boys, first graders, kindergartners, it really didn't matter to her. If a child looked lonely, Sheridan went over. If someone had no one to play with, Sheridan was there. If someone felt invisible, Sheridan saw them. That was my daughter, and that is who she was until the day she was stolen from us. And I honestly can't make sense of it. I cannot make peace with it. And in what world does the child who spent her life making sure no one was lonely die terrified and alone on a pier in Chicago? In what world does the girl who saw everyone become invisible to the people in power responsible for protecting her? This cannot be explained away, and it cannot be buried beneath a list of unrelated issues that you all paraded before us. Thanks for telling me without telling me that, you're here, but you don't want to be. This is the fourth time you've had angel families. Thanks for telling me you don't care. This cannot be buried under your slogans, your statistics, or excuses, and this just can't stand. So today, I bring this back to the buddy bench. I think Congress needs one. I think every governor, every mayor, every sanctuary city official and politician shifting blame and interest, hiding behind their slogans and talking points should have to all sit on one. And I challenge you all to sit down with me, take my hand, look me in the eye, and then explain to me, because I just don't understand, explain why people here illegally matter more than your American citizens. Explain why sanctuary policies matter more than my Sheridan's life. Explain why cooperation with ICE was too much to ask for, but asking our American parents to bury our children is somehow acceptable. Ask me. I need you to tell me. I want you to imagine that little girl on the buddy bench, that innocent college freshman with a heart full of compassion and a head full of dreams that was gunned down by an illegal immigrant, I want you to imagine that was your daughter, not mine. What if she was yours? Would you even hesitate for 1 second to act, to make changes? My Sheridan spent her whole life choosing others. Today, I'm just asking this committee in our Congress, in our country, to choose her. She was worth protecting. She was worth saving. And she was worth your brave vote. To all of those who have supported us, who have prayed for us, who have cried with us, and to those who have had the courage to speak out and say Sheridan's name, thank you. Because every time you say her name, you give a piece of her back to us. You remind the world that Sheridan was not a talking point. She wasn't a statistic or a headline. She was our daughter. She will always be my sweet sunshine. And if the people who failed her would rather look away, then I'm asking the rest of you to look right at her. Here she is. There's she and I. Here she is. This is taken the day before she died. Say her name, tell her story, and demand better. Because my Sheridan Grace Gorman should still be alive. And no mother should have to stand where I am standing, begging elected leaders.
Shout out to white women because in addition to the fact that she's telling her story, white women, they know how to get dramatic. Oh my God. And listen, this is a very tragic story and this is very heartbreaking. I actually covered it over in Chicago. But boy, they will make this work right here.
Grace Gorman should still be alive. And no mother should have to stand where I am standing, begging.
They do that in relationships. They do that on social media. Boy, they will go to the hilt. And they will make sure that they emphasize every single dramatic talking point. in life, they will they will go all the way in.
Elected leaders to value my child's life after it's already too late. I cried when I came into the room. I saw this poster that you made. It says, at every stop, the system had a chance to stop him. At every step, it failed. And my daughter paid for those failures, your failures, with her life. No family should ever have to bury a child because public officials fail to put American lives first.
She's absolutely, positively 1,000, with all of the dramatism, with all of that, she's 100% right. 1,000% right. And I just couldn't imagine, I couldn't fathom what it would be like to send your child off. And it's one thing for crime to happen, right? Life happens, car accidents happen, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got killed with a drunk driver and all of this type of stuff. But when you think about something that truly could have been permitted, and that's why I says, you know, in order for you to be a public servant, in order for you to be a politician, in order for you to serve the people, to be on the front lines with the people, you truly have to have the people's best interests at heart. Financially, safety-wise, all of that. And so when I see, for example, a Brandon Johnson, right, and he'll pop up and he'll be talking about how, oh my God, minorities. First of all, you the mayor of the whole city. You're not a mayor of just black people. Although black people are the ones that are suffering the most under your reign. But the other side of that is, it's blood on your hands. It's blood on your hands. When an illegal migrant that could have been prevented, and you knew better, and you used taxpayers' money, and you protected them. This wasn't even just a regular illegal migrant. This is one that they use the Safety Act and all of their legislative power to allow to be back on the street, even though they have a record and they had been arrested and they had no business still being in the country, and that we had our federal officials saying, help us when you arrest an illegal migrant, call ICE and we'll get them deported because they not supposed to be committing crimes over here. And when you could have prevented that from happening, but instead there's an American citizen, some woman, some man's daughter dead. And then if you talk to a politician and you say, do you know what my daughter, you know what the most difficult thing was for Kamala Harris during the campaign? Was to say Laken Riley. She refused to say it. I don't know if she had been advised about it. I don't know what was going on, but they refused to say it. They don't look at people as humans. They don't look at lives the same way that we do. They look at you as a statistic. They look at you as a number. They're looking at the graphs. They're trying to figure out who's going to vote, who's not going to vote, what issue is the most meaningful, and how I can get reelected. They're not public servants. They're self-servicing. They're not public servants. They're self-serving. Self-servicing all day, every day. It's not public service. When it's about whether or not you get elected versus whether or not you can do the most for the people, if your message is why I'm best for the job, instead of saying I'm better for the community, or I'm better for the city, or I'm better for voters, or I'm better for your finances, or I'm better for your pocketbooks, if the idea of you getting elected is based off of your identity and not based off of your service, then you're not suited for the job. But somewhere along the way, we lost track of the idea of what public service looks like, because the money got involved and because people started making an egregious amount of money and having an extreme amount of control over what happens. But with that's why the word says, with great power comes great responsibility. The ante is higher. So we don't have the luxury. You have the luxury of hiring based off of diversity, equity, and inclusion when it comes to your business. If you want to open up your little cookie shop, cool. If you want to open up your boutique, awesome. If you want to open up a nail salon, cool. If you want to open up your hair salon, awesome. But when it comes to servicing the people, everybody that lives in this particular area or this city or this state, it has to be bigger than you. You have to be willing to self-sacrifice to get these people where they need to be and create the best environment possible for people to go to school, for people to go to work, for people to play in parks, for them to lower their taxes, for them to be able to get serviced. It's just the facts. Real talk. And if people are innocently dying over something that could have obviously been prevented, and everybody turn their back because they say, well, you know what, that's not a Democrat issue, or that doesn't align with Democrats, that's horrible. That's horrible. Real talk, it's horrible. It's a very bad situation. Somebody said, oh, Anton, that's a Spider-Man quote. Nah, nigga, that came straight from the word. Be faithful in little and I'll make you ruler over much. Just because they remix it and throw it in a movie don't mean that they're not copying straight from the good book. Just because they remix it and they make it a little bit more palatable so that you guys can think that the insight came from a comic book character, no, it comes from the word. Don't think for 1 second that it doesn't directly come and it's inspired by the word. It's the whole point of that quote. Just because y'all don't read the word and y'all watch more Spider-Man, you don't know where it comes from. You don't know the foundation of where it comes from. That's why we quote it. That's why it actually is a thing that's relevant. And actually, it was said way before that. That's correct. The whole Star Wars saga is religious in nature.
You to choose us. We choose you. We choose you. Choose us. Why does my child matter less than an illegal immigrant? Why? Listen, I have a heart. I love immigrants. Two of my best friends in this whole world are immigrants. They came here the right way. I absolutely think they make America beautiful. But my daughter's beautiful too. I need you to think about what these policies are. And I need you to imagine this is your daughter, because I'm very sure you won't be cutting off anyone when they're speaking. I'd be very sure you won't call this a political stunt. The grief is real. Every day I wake up with unimaginable pain. You know what I wake up in the middle of the night and I think, did my daughter cry for me? She made it 40 feet. She made it 40 feet running for her life. Did she cry out for me? She died on that pavement all by herself, lonely, bleeding on that pavement. And I will never ever rest. I actually have to say that I am devastated. My husband and I, we're only a couple years away from retirement. I've worked my whole life so hard. All I wanted to do was just enjoy our children. Just wanted to enjoy my Sheridan, my Madeline. And now I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a lover. I love children. I love pumping people up and making them feel good about themselves. I'm not racist. I'm not xenophobic. We've done everything right, my husband and I. We taught our daughter to be wonderful, beautiful person. Her love was extravagant. And now I'm going to have to spend my last waking moment, I'm going to have to spend fighting against these policies, fighting for people to say her name. So if you have the courage, please come talk to me. Come sit on that bench. I'll buy Congress a bench. Talk to each other. Talk to each other.
Why do they need a bench when all they got to do is use taxpayers' dollars and taxpayer money to do so? Now, meanwhile, while she was testifying, right, and while she was giving her insight into what was going on, as far as her daughter being killed in Chicago by an illegal migrant, unprotected, with policies that should have been implemented bipartisan, regardless of what side of the aisle that you were on, This is what was happening overnight in Chicago.
I did. It certainly was an unnerving start to the day for residents and guests of the Royal Sonesta Chicago after a fatal shooting happened early this morning. The violent crime happening just outside the door.
This is the most insane thing I've seen thus far.
Kylie Kleckner lives in an apartment at Royal Sonesta Chicago. It was around 3:15 this morning when a noise woke her up.
I heard what I thought was fireworks. There were enough going off that by the time I got to my window with my camera, they were still shooting.
Kleckner says she saw at least 3 men get back in a car, which sped away, heading west on Grand Avenue. Those gunshots, more than 100 of them. Chicago police counting at least 110 shell casings. A 30-year-old man.
This is normal. This is par for the course. They don't shoot in Chicago unless they can bring at least 100 evidence markers for the shell casings that they find on the street. How many different videos have we done, ladies and gentlemen? How many videos have we done where we see more than 100 shell casings on a report in Chicago? The crime ain't even just criming no more. They criming. They need Crime Dog McGruff. They need RoboCop. They need Superman. They need Batman in Gotham City. They need the whole 9 yards. It is not abnormal. Every time that y'all send me a video, she kind of thick though, on the low though. Let me cover that up so I don't get distracted. Every time that I see a video, every time that I see a video, and y'all send me a video of what happened last night in Chicago, everyone is 100 plus shell casings. Everyone is 100 plus shell casings. Y'all got the detectives working overtime. Y'all got the detectives working. The evidence people, they getting all of the overtime money. The detectives is getting all of the money. What's up, Shamika? They getting all of the money. I have not seen a summer start off, because y'all got to remember, summer just started like a week ago. I haven't seen a summer jump off this crazy in a long time. It got warm outside, and they just said, where the switches at? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. The chick said, she thought it was fireworks. She said she got up and took her sweet time to go look out the window, and it was so many shots that was being fired that she had time to get to the window and still see them shooting. What? This ain't in the hood right here, y'all. It's coming to a nice area near you. This ain't in the hood. This is not on the south side. This is not in a concentrated area. This is in a populated public area at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they letting everybody know we about to kill you. And they not just gonna kill you, they gonna overkill you. They overkilling over in Chicago. 30-year-old man killed, 100 shots fired. What are we in? A third world country? Is this Afghanistan? Are we in Afghanistan? What are we talking about? Yo, they broke into a corner store up the street from my studio in the Wayne State area that I like to go to. It's this little market that I done been to. Y'all done seen it on the vlog a little bit. Yesterday, they broke into that. They caught them immediately. They set up cameras. They wanted to see who was going on. They dusted fingerprints. They caught him immediately. Immediately. Before the day was up, they already had an arrest. They was already arrested. None of these people ever get arrested. Don't matter if they break into the Louis Vuitton store downtown or if they shooting people on the south side. boop, 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 boop.
Was killed and a 65-year-old man was wounded. The news disturbing to Cindy Monroe, a guest at the hotel.
Just sad again, just that a human, lives were taken.
42nd Ward Alderman Brendan Riley described the shooting as a gang-related attack. He said 5 hooded and masked gunmen got out of a gray Honda Accord, all armed, and fired shots at the 30-year-old man, who he says has an extensive criminal background. He says they sped off in the Honda, which was located after having been set on fire. Although analysis from the ABC7 data team shows violent crime in River North is down more than 18% in the past year, Kleckner says empty storefronts in the area create blind spots where crime can happen.
It's obviously identified by...
Are y'all seeing this? And you know that Chicago has a 30% plus vacancy rate on their storefronts, even on the Mag Mile. Y'all know that, right? Like, I'm not making this up.
Area create blind spots where crime can happen.
It's obviously identified by these groups of people that they can hang out there and do crazy things and not get caught.
Alderman Brendan Riley says he talked with Chicago police and requested an increased police presence during the late night hours throughout the summer and going into the extended July 4th holiday weekend. In the meantime, there have been no arrests made in this case.
That's it is. It's getting bad. You got a 30% vacancy rate. It's insane. The Loop and Magnificent Mile in the Central Business District recorded a slight drop, with overall downtown vacancy falling to roughly 28.5%. We rounded up to 30% just for the sake of conversations. Almost a 30% vacancy rate on the Loop and Magnificent Mile. Now you're starting to see the YNs, they doing what they do. They shooting people up right outside of the hotel, and they overkilling people, and they're not even making a big deal about it. It's just become a part of the culture. It's just going to become a part of the culture. When the weather break, you're supposed to be checking out for sundresses and all of that stuff. Here in our downtown, that junk was out of control. And I'm not talking about, see, they got all of the YNs out because it was downtown. They was watching the World Cup. It was out of control. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm like, what is all of these people doing here? And at night, it was jumping.
Major for us. And it really was a lot of fun out.
All right, extreme heat or not, local soccer fans were not going to miss out on tonight's World Cup watch party at campus marches. It went down regardless.
Team USA overcoming some...
Y'all them people?
What some people might call questionable.
That's what it looked like downtown yesterday in Detroit. And I was like, these people are out here. But then I also remembered that we got a new soccer stadium that's coming. Some of y'all call it football outside of the football. That's outside of the U.S. We got a new soccer stadium that's basically being built in Detroit.
Officiating to beat Bosnia 2-0. Our J. Scott Smith didn't want to drain his life savings for a ticket to the game itself, so he found the next best thing, which is a gathering here in Detroit. Hi there,
Cleared
Jay.
that junk out as soon as it was over.
Well, good evening, Kim and Ty. Good evening, everybody. And as you see behind me, it is cleared out here at Campus Martius. But It was an absolutely electric atmosphere just the entire night long here. And even though we've been dealing with this really, really brutal heat the last few days, that did not stop the party that was happening right here. It was one of the biggest games ever. On one of the hottest days of the year, as thousands of people crammed into campus marshes for the Team USA watch party for their round of 32 matchup against Bosnia. Now, the event was organized by the Detroit City FC, and even in this brutal heat, supporters started piling in around 6 p.m. By the time the game started 2 hours later, the temperature was still hovering around 96 degrees. People showed up with their own bottles of water, while others bought bottles at the event, and Connor from Redford had his own system for staying cool in the near triple-digit heat.
That's the main way. You got to go from ultra water, back and forth, and it'll be perfect for the game.
These young ladies, on the other hand, were staying cool with bottles of water as well as some fans that their mother brought, and they loved the entire vibe of the event.
I think it's really good. I like how the community comes together and how everyone set this up.
And not everyone here was clad in the stars and stripes. A number of people were also supporting their native Bosnia, who's playing in their first ever knockout stage.
For my country to play USA, I just can't get over this. I love it.
Ira Martin was born in Sarajevo and came to the U.S. as a college student. She now lives in Washington Township, and she and her daughters came down draped in the Bosnian flag, and she was thrilled to see everyone come together to support the beautiful game.
I'm very excited.
It was so many people, and then that junk was so raucous. And I'm like, but then I started seeing the jerseys, and I started seeing all of the different stuff that people was wearing, and I'm like, oh, they down in campus marshes to watch the World Cup. That's what's happening. So every day is something going on down here. And again, they don't mess around. It be police everywhere. You're not going to be down here causing no problems. You're not going to be down here doing stuff that you're not supposed to do. You are going to act accordingly, and you're going to get yourself together, or else you're going to jail. And that's what I keep saying about all of these cities. You have to have strong, literally strong policies you're going to have strong policies or else people are going to run it over and they're going to destroy the businesses and they're going to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see what's happening inside of the chat. New Media Tech Solo says, how do I get on the chat panel? Just tabled on it. What? How do I get on the chat panel? Just tabled on it. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? You got to give me some more insight. I don't even know how to translate that, to be honest with you. Mike Too Smooth in the building says, AD, shout out to the Bag Chasers. Can you share your thoughts on Centene Corporation announcing upcoming layoffs, losing 28 million healthcare members? I didn't know about it. Let me see. Centene. Well, they've been saying for years that they're going to cut work employees. I'm not familiar with it.
If HR called it voluntary.
Centene employees are doing layoffs? Here, let me. I'm going to have to do some research on that. Let me do some research and then we'll cover it maybe tomorrow. 2 years ago, they did 2,000 layoffs. They said that they was cutting 3% of the workforce. Let me see. 17 layoffs. Yeah, let me do some deep dives. Investors sent voluntary buyout. Yeah, I gotta find out what's going on, and I'll figure it out. All right. Again, make sure you guys hit a like. That's a good question. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't know nothing about that. Chase Barnes says, "Happy Thursday, AD and peeps." Knock knock. I guess it's us again. Dang, Chi-Town. Chase, how do y'all do it? How do y'all do it, Chase? I appreciate you for the 20 ball. He says Chicago needs Max Payne. Y'all need the Punisher. Y'all need something, bro. Do they have unlimited ammo or something? I don't even know. ABJ says these politicians will make the excuse that because it was gang related, it doesn't make downtown Chicago dangerous. Bullets ain't got no name, bro. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, AD, what's your Pistons doing? Lost Harris and added Collins, while every other East team getting better. Example, Raptors, Heat, Philly, and the Bulls. I think that we're doing it really well. I think he's smart. I think, first of all, we getting a super discount on Jalen Duren because there's no market for him anymore. Shout out to Tobias Harris. That's actually my guy. I rock with Tobias in real life, but Tobias, he made the best decision for himself. I think that he was on a very, let me see, what was Tobias's Piston contract? We adding shooters. He just got a 2-year, $31 million deal, $15.5 million a piece. Well, here he was making $26 million a year. And so we didn't want to keep him for that amount. And so we had to make the adjustment. You know what I'm saying? You got to be salary cap friendly. You got to be careful with how it is that you're running up. And Tobias is he's on the tail end of his career. And so they're looking for him to be a shooter and a mentor and to have some kind of veteran presence in the locker room for San Antonio because they're a super young team. They needed a veteran to steady the ship. So I don't disagree with it. Sometimes you got to let people go and sometimes you got to make sure. I think that we're doing just fine. I think we're doing just fine. Because, see, one thing you're not saying is you didn't say that the Celtics got worse, right? You didn't say anything about that. I don't think that the Raptors got better. I think that the Raptors are going to deal with a very injured. Man, we're going to talk about this on Saturday. I might have to do a sports show and allow for people to be able to come up. Jakim Bar says, yo, AD, I heard your story about why you stopped gaming. What game was the last game you put hours into? Probably Call of Duty, Rainbow Six. I used to love Splinter Cell. Fortnite was okay. I liked multiplayer. First-person multiplayer. Oh, and GTA 5. I love GTA 5. New Media says I just stumbled onto it. Oh, I just stumbled onto it. I got you. Long Way ENT. Contact Q. Contact Quentin on Instagram. Long Way ENT says public transportation does need to be 24/7 though. Shout out to my dog Long Way ENT. I appreciate you. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. How did we get worse? And we didn't even lose anything, really. We added shooters. I don't think we got worse. I think we're doing okay. Empire State Building. Let's cover this Empire State Building conversation before we take our music break. I'm not sure what I want to listen to musically yet. Empire State Building. 2 people climb atop the building. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algo, subscribe, and then make sure y'all tap into the Patreon.
Oh, dear God, Kira. This guy is getting down on a knee, perhaps.
Did he propose to her?
This individual?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Aaron, I think that's exactly what could be happening. I wish WABC would just move a little bit more.
He got the camera right
so
there,
we
too.
can see what he's doing down on his knee. This is crazy.
Well, I would imagine
They need a drone up there.
If it's a proposal, it's an elaborate one, and I hope she said yes. But it is undoubtedly going to end in their arrest.
Aaron, I hope this is not
Yes.
Taylor. I hope this is not Taylor and Travis. But then again, he already proposed. Never mind. But they're clearly
He did
trying
propose
to
to her.
overshadow
That's
a
why he
big
just kissed her.
weekend. Okay, they're hugging. I think he just proposed.
So it would seem, an elaborate proposal preceded by the unfurling of a banner about peace and love at the top of the Empire State Building in the heart of Midtown Manhattan on one of the hottest days of the year. The two embracing, climbing without ropes, without carabiners, without any kind of harness, it would seem, for this elaborate proposal?
Okay.
Protest?
All right. So this is a very difficult moment since we're all live and we're trying to process all this, because your first thought is, what's going on? Why are these people climbing to the top of the Empire State Building? This is dangerous. This is illegal. Okay. And then you see a banner all about, love and peace in the world. Okay. You think they're protesting something, but they work themselves down to the base of the antenna, and it looks like he proposes. She says yes, they hug, and now it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Now, that's really sweet, and it's a memorable moment, but at the end of the day, this is illegal. This is dangerous. She's got a ring on her finger. You better hope when they're there in the jail cell, no one tries to snag her diamond, if indeed that's what it is. But, I mean, seriously, Perry Russum, this is a first, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, I want to point out, too, it appears that stick that the man is using there looks like a 360 camera, which we've seen a couple of times when these people do these dangerous
I'm about to throw one on my
stunts
Lamborghini.
and climb incredibly high on top of these skyscrapers all over the world. One of the things you also worry about, too, are copycats, where they try and one-up each other, trying to go the extra mile. So I'm sure that's another thing investigators will try to tamp down going forward, is to make sure that this is a one-off. First, make sure they get down safely, and then two, making sure nobody ever tries this again. So I'm sure the Empire State Building, once this stunt is complete, will be going over their safety procedures and protocols, trying to figure out, one, how do these people figure out how to do this? Two, how do they pull it off?
All right, first of all, y'all messing up the game, bro. Real talk. This is why women have this crazy perspective about expectations of what a man should do and all of this stuff. Because y'all climbing to the top of the Empire State Building and getting arrested together, and y'all using that as a form of romanticism. Who's supposed to follow up behind that? Who can follow up behind that? Yeah, proposing at the top of the Empire State Building and then getting arrested together. What are we talking about? What are we doing here? And that's why women are having these unrealistic expectations, because they think that you're supposed to get arrested for them and doing crazy stuff. I don't agree. I believe that is messing up the game. And I think that is ruining, you know what I'm saying, the expectations of women. And it messed up everything. He climbed to the top of the Empire State Building with no harness. Now you gonna find yourself trying to do some of the same thing, and you gonna get your head cracked. How are you supposed to follow up behind that? I don't like it. And I think that it messes up the game, and it gives guys, I ain't even gonna say it gives guys. I think that it gives women an unrealistic expectation of how things are supposed to go. And now people have gotten so crazy with their proposals and the things that they doing that it makes it seem like guys ain't doing enough. No, it ain't that guys ain't doing enough. It's more or less about the fact that y'all out here doing too much. You're doing too much.
I mean, we have so many tourists here in the city, and as I mentioned, security at the Empire State Building is already top-notch, where they are watching every single person at all times. So how this happened is quite incredible.
This morning, 2 people are facing serious charges for this sky-high stunt. The duo wearing masks climbing to the top of one of the nation's most iconic landmarks on Wednesday, New York's Empire State Building.
2 geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire. It's not some worker changing a light, is it? Nah, it's a male, female, dressed in black. They had some flag they were waving.
The couple unfurling a black banner about peace and love and kissing nearly 1,500 feet above Midtown Manhattan as people looked on from below.
We had to run outside and see what was going on.
You can't be up here.
This blurred body camera footage capturing officers taking them into custody. The pair, later identified as internet daredevils, 32-year-old Ivan Kuznetsov and 33-year-old Angelina Nicolaou. They're both now facing multiple criminal charges, including felony burglary, reckless endangerment, and trespassing.
This guy right here is on top of the, yes, you called it the Empire State Building.
The couple is featured in a documentary about their gravity-defying stunts. But in this latest feat, as they descended to a lower platform, Kuznetsov appears to drop to one knee. Nicolaou posting a photo on social media showing off a sparkling ring. An Empire State Building spokesperson writing in a statement, while the stunt was unauthorized, there was at no time danger to tenants, visitors, and Empire State Building observation deck guests. But some are questioning how the couple managed to bypass security.
It's really intense security, go through metal detectors.
The incident happening while the NYPD is on high alert amidst World Cup crowds, reports of Taylor Swift's wedding at Madison Square Garden, and the upcoming Macy's fireworks show.
Okay. But this is also shows you that we got vulnerable. Honestly, I'm not even as concerned about the fact that he climbed the Empire State Building. I'm more or less concerned about the fact that we got vulnerabilities. We have vulnerabilities in security. So if they're able to get past all of the security to get through to the Empire State Building, then that also means that we have vulnerabilities in what would a terrorist do? Remember a couple weeks back where I was talking about and we was having a conversation about what was going on in the sewer system in New York City and how, you know, multiple reports and they kept on reporting that people were going through the sewer system and all of this stuff. Yo, what are we talking about? They were able to get to the top of the Empire State Building and people couldn't even arrest them until they decided to climb down. They could have flew off like Batman and parachuted to a whole nother building and probably could have got away if they wanted to. That's a security issue. That's a problem. That's a security. That's the first thing that came to my mind. 2 things that came to my mind. Dude messing up the game by proposing on the top of the Empire State Building. And that we have a true security issue. If 2 Russian people, which we should be profiling, oh no, Anton believe in profiling. Anton believes that, you know, we should be looking at people and all. Yes, absolutely. How are you walking into the Empire State Building with helmets on and climbing gear and all black? You and a woman and y'all Russian. And nobody was like, hey, man, we need to check them. That's how we've been stopping these teen takeovers and arresting people with guns in downtown. If your book bag look heavy, they be like, hey, come here for a minute, man. Let me talk to you. And they had a hand on the pistol. One dude said, nah, I'm not going. They said, oh, yes, you are. He decided to pull out. And next thing you know, he was ooh-wop shebang. We profile here in Detroit. Our police are being tactically taught to profile different people that look suspicious. Your book bag will look a little heavy. Seriously, your book bag looks a little heavy. Let me check that to make sure that you ain't got nothing you ain't supposed to have. Looks like a gun may be in there. Next thing you know, they taking all of the guns off the street No problems, no trouble, no none of that. You got security breaches. A dog set up a 360. I need another 360 camera. Dog set up a 360 camera on the top of the Empire State Building, bro. And I got a question for people that use 360 cameras. I haven't really used any of them, but I'm about to throw a few of them on my cars and on my motorcycle. For 360 cameras, get this off the screen. Foolishness. I'm going to actually pose this as a question on After Hours tonight, but I'm going to frame it differently. Before we get into our musical selections, I try to do one of both. I try to do a rap one. Well, I try to do the rap one second, kind of like I did yesterday. I did Larry June after I did my the homie from Detroit. And then I'm going to do the same thing today, but we're going to go back a little bit. For 360 cameras, do they have to stay on there or do you detach them? You got the Insta360, but that's like this, right? That's like this. I'm talking about the 360 cameras that's attached to your cars. Let me look at this up. Y'all not giving me no information. Let me see. 360 camera. Car.
What's up, guys? So today we're gonna test the Insta360 X4 and we're gonna take some amazing shots for the car with this camera. Let's test it and let's see how good it is. Coming up next. Amazing. And now this one is 8K. So like this, that's nice. That's cool. So this is a screen protector to put it on top on the camera to protect the.
Two selfie sticks, one suction mount, one car mount, and another 3/4 suction mount. Let me save this video.
Mount. The suction cups are too small, so I always like to remove this one and add this bigger one, because with this one I can go a little bit faster on the mount. So this one, it will help me to keep the mount stable. What I do to keep the mount in the car.
Oh, I see how he do it now. But do you have to buy the mount separately? And then he put one inside of the car. I don't like the front. Why do you keep playing the music?
A lot of videos out there that can show you
All right, I get
how
it now.
to set up your camera.
I get it now. All right, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Now I understand it. All right, so get the 360 cameras. I can order those today. 360. But then you need the kit. You need the suction mounts, and you need all of that type of stuff too. Oh, that's what you were saying. You got the Insta360 because that's the one. That's the 360 camera. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So do you detach it every single time that you do it though? Yo, what's up, babe? I'm on the live stream, but what's happening? You said what? Wait, hold on. Let me get you on a live doing this. Can I do what?
Can you Apple pay me $50, please?
Why do I need to Apple pay you $50?
Because I need it, bro. I need this. I don't have my card.
Why didn't you bring your card?
I left it on accident, and we're at Starbucks. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Let me see. Before I get up the phone. Well, hold on. Let me see, because I don't think I've ever really Apple paid like that.
If you have money, then you should be able to Apple Pay. So I think you should be good.
Don't tell me. And why you need? Wait. Well, why do you need 50?
Just in case, like maybe if I don't have something else or something, might as well. Since you're already here and stuff, so I don't have to keep asking. Thanks, Dad.
Hold on, give me a second. I gotta figure this out.
No, I know. I'm just saying things. I can request it. Like, go to our messages.
Did you just get
it? Yes, thank you.
You always begging. Get out of here.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me see what's going on in these streets. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I don't even know what account that came out of. This is the problem with doing a a live 4-hour show, is that you also got to deal with a lot of this other stuff. What account did that come out of? Yep, came out of that account. All right, cool. Anyways, guess it's time to take a music break. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're gonna get into it. TS says they said Tobias and Kirk Cousins got the same agent when it comes to getting the bag. Harris made 300 plus and was never an all-star. That's how I would like it. I would prefer to do it to where I could run up a bag and I ain't got to worry about whether or not I'm going to be an all-star or not. Mr. Joe says, I'm so disgusted as a Celtics fan right now. They gave away a franchise player for a podcaster. One had to go, Mr. Joe. I can't wait till Saturday. Orlando Williams Jr. says, play everything we wanted by Currency. Nope. 392Q says, I can see in the future that AD is going to do a review videos about men getting fired and neglecting their women when GTA 6 drop. Can't wait. Can't wait. Now I got to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to propose, says Wesley Turner. Manny Plays PC says, I bet a lot of women looked at their boyfriends and said, that must be nice while watching the news. New Media Tech Solo says, Anton, join the social media app I built, join it. Well, what is it? Insta360 I use on my app. I built my own social media app. I'm a developer. You should check it out, bro. Help me grow. Jump on. Bro, listen, if y'all want me to promote y'all stuff, y'all gonna have to send a check, bro. You're going to have to do it like everybody else. Get in my email and say, Anton, I have a proposal for you. Y'all doing it like N-words. That's how y'all doing it. Y'all doing it like they do it in the streets. Hey, man, let me hold. Hey, man, let me hold. So, hey, man, support my business. No, bro. You got to approach me the same way that everybody else approaches me, and you got to be on business. And when you do it, you got to have all of your ducks in a row. It already got to be up and running. It already got to be a play, and it already has to be a good product. And when you got a good product, it's easier to sell it because the product will sell itself, and then you approach people in a professional manner. Whenever I reach out to somebody and I want to officially interview them or I want to connect with them or something, I go through their official way to get in touch with them. Hey, man, come hook me up, man. Join, help me grow. What do you mean? I'm a business man. You gotta put your business hat on, man. You can't blow up. You can't grow like that. You gotta approach it from a business perspective. And if you don't have the money, then you need to partner with somebody that can get you some visibility, and you need to start talking about equity because you got to make it worth their while. You know what I'm saying? That's just a quick some insight for you. Wesley Turner says, dang, now we need surveillance drones. Just Christian Black in the building. Shout out to my dog, Just the Christian Black. You always holding me down. Thank you, Just Christian Black. San Quan says, Anton, let me hold $5. I need some Gatorade and pickle juice. It's 97 degrees in South Carolina, and my trainer had me run 300-yard shuttles. I'm hurt, big dog. What do you mean? You just gave me $5 in the super chat. You should have used that on some Gatorade and pickle juice. I also want to give a shout out to my dog, John Teal. Thank you, John Teal, on Cash App. All right. The two songs that we're going to ride out today with, well, you don't need to know what they are. You just need to listen to them. Some of y'all may not be familiar with it, but shout out to Groove Theory. Oh, shoot. Did I mess that up? Hold on. Sorry. The next song is going to be one of my favorites. Shout out to Jay. Got to show Jay-Z some love. Man, I'm not going to take I'm not taking no whole disrespect. I'm not taking no whole disrespect no more. I'm not taking it from Slimmy. I'm not taking it from the chat. I'm not taking it from people that don't understand music. I'm not taking it from people that wasn't outside during the time that certain things was popping off. I'm not taking no whole disrespect going forward. It's over. It's over. I'm not taking no whole disrespect just because you don't know no better. Just because you ain't focused don't mean that we're going to discount one of the GOATs. I'm not taking no whole disrespect. It's over for y'all. So go ahead, pack it up. Pack it up. Said people over here disrespecting the GOAT. I know what you like. Dang, I made it today when you needed the D. Not taking no whole disrespect. When is the Madison Square? The Yankee Stadium concert. Jay-Z. July 10th, 11th, and the 12th. So you got Dame Dash over there, Chief Teef, and Jay over here about to do Yankee Stadium on the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. Oh, man. Oh, snaps. Hold on. I didn't know that there was different concerts for different themes. Oh, dog. Okay, so the 10th is celebrating reasonable doubt. The 11th is celebrating the blueprint. And then the 12th is all of the extra songs. Oh, dog. We might have to go to all three. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Y'all didn't tell me that. Y'all didn't tell me that the 10th was for reasonable doubt, the 11th is for the blueprint, and the 12th is for the third date. It's for the extra innings. Oh, dog. Come on, man. I may not have to I may not miss this one, honestly. I might have to make some adjustments. I didn't know that it was different themes on different nights. I thought, you know how different concerts, they just do the same thing over again? Oh. Ain't nothing sold out, bro. Ain't nothing. Listen, it's sold out in general, but they got resale tickets. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they was doing different things for different nights. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. So let me work this out. Let me figure this out. This is why we have a 4-hour live stream, so we can figure it out and we can derail. All right? I've never been to Yankee Stadium. I don't know what the best seats are. I want to be in here. Oh, the stage is right here. Okay. So hold on. So this is the best seat right here that's available. What's these going for? 786, 786. What's this one going for? That's 786 also. This is doable. This is definitely doable, bro. This is 100% doable. I got to get there, bro. I got to get there. I got to see what's happening. This might be a solo trip. Okay, let me just see one more thing real quick. Because that's the first night. Blueprint is the one that I really love. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. I know that's going to be out of control. It ain't no seats for the Blueprint. 4,400 for a seat at the right there at the Blueprint. 1,200 pit right. $17, 3,200, 32, 3,200, 3,400, 3,500. So the Blueprint is the date that everybody trying to figure out what's popping. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get it together. We're going to work through it. I'm going to figure it out. Where we gonna stay though? Where we gonna stay at, chat? Where we gonna stay at? Let me see something. Y'all got me going through the whole. Y'all got me going through the whole itinerary trying to figure it out. And we not gonna do no flying on the 9th. Nah, you flying on the 10th. You go to both nights, you can fly out on the 10th. Then they got the extra innings. She don't really want to fly out on a Sunday, so let's just assume that. The thing about New York hotel rooms, y'all, is New York hotel rooms are notoriously small. So if you're going to go into a New York hotel room, you got to understand that you're going into something that's super small. Because I got to stream, you know what I'm saying? This might work. I know what you like. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. No, I don't think it's no MGMs over in New York. I don't think it's no MGMs over in New York. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Somebody says, how does AD play music without getting copyright strikes? Because I'm Anton from AntonDaniels.com, bro. I don't have those problems. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, do Wallet. Well, maybe tomorrow. I actually like that song. Wesley Turner says, my office hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. like Big Red. AR is back, says American Gangster soundtrack. I must have manifested this. 80s Kid. Shout out to the 80s Kid. Says, I knew what Jay-Z's song that was as soon as I heard Pharrell 4 Count. Shout out to New Media Tech Solo. Says, bro, figured I'd throw a few bucks your way, support your chat, and introduce you to the social media platform I built. Not a proposal. I just found your channel. Good look, bro. All right, I'll check it out. Is that the name of your thing? It's called New Media Tech? Email me the name of it. Email me the app. I appreciate you, bro. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, I'm going to Jay and Chris Brown, Usher, Ross, and Jeezy. Nah. I'm not going to all of them. It's funny because the Chris Brown concert going to be here tomorrow and the next day and the day after the next. Billionaire B says, what's your favorite quote that aligns with your life and business purpose? I don't know if I have one. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. I say it all the time. Real TV in the building says, bro, I almost crashed my car from dying from laughter when you were speaking about GTA and how addicting the gaming culture could be. You were speaking facts. You sounded like a reformed gaming addict. Love your content, my G. Oh, I used to be heavy into gaming. Heavy into gaming, bro. Heavy. TS Car Washing Detail Services. Yeah, my blueprint costs $5K and I'm going solo. You know what? Going solo dolo is a new play. I'm about to get into the next segment. But TS, hear me out, y'all. Hear me out before we go into the next segment. Going solo is the play nowadays. That's the play. And even if you go, and like, let's say, for example, you go for 3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 days or whatever, and you just link up with the people that's in the city when you get there. Or you bring in somebody that you want to be there with you for the first day or two, and then you spin off on the block on your own by yourself after that. Solo travel for guys, as far as going to an event or going to whatever it is that you want to do, is the play, bro. That is the play. That is the life hack in general, bro. Telling you. Going solo, and then, hey, listen, I want you to come in with me on Friday, and then I'm going to get you up out of here on Saturday. Or I want you to come in with me on Thursday and Friday, and then I'm going to get you up out of here on Saturday. That's the play nowadays. Going solo and linking up with the people that you link up with when you're there. Calling friends, and this is the reason why you got to be outside. Because when you start to know people in different cities, then you can be like, hey, listen, I'm about to go over to this city, or I'm about to go over to this city. What's happening? And so you plan it based off of whatever the event is, and then you fly out solo, bro. Solo traveling is the move. That's the wave. And then you link up with people as you get there, and then you get up out of there. Hey, listen, I see all of the guys in the chat saying that's how I roll, that's how it's always been, that's how I do things, that's how we pop out. Facts, I pop out everywhere solo, I be solo. Then why they try to act like guys don't like being in their own company? Why, when I played that video yesterday, they tried to make it seem like, oh no, only women do solo traveling? I don't believe that. Anton, would you go to a concert solo? I do all the time. I just don't say nothing. And a lot of the concerts that I go to solo, they don't even be like the big concerts. They be like slow motion. I pulled up to somebody when I was in Vegas. Somebody in the chat right now in Vegas. When I was in Vegas, and I'm like, oh, Rick Ross is at Dreas. That was when Dreas was still open. And they said, nah, bro, come over here. Come over to this spot. And that was when I first seen La Russell. And I rolled over there by myself. I was in a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? I did pull up in the Ferrari, but I was solo when I pulled up to the concert, went to the joint in Vegas. I was solo dolo. It was like, yo, Ty, I ain't expect for you to be out here. I'm dolo. All the time. When you got an entourage, when you got a bunch of people with you, sometimes when you got a woman with you, it bring a lot of attention. You can't even move the way you want to move. You know what I'm saying? You can't even move the way you want to move. So I'll be dipping out, man. Good morning. You on fire today? For y'all that don't know, don't mention lame and hove in the same sentence. Talk about it, Tiff Money. Period. We don't do that here. That's black facts. Shout out to Tiff. TS says, yeah, I'm also Joe Button Podcast doing a fan meet and greet at the show that day. Mario, but call me Rio says, no lie, just did no New York Dolo again and had a ball. Hey, man, I bet. We up. We doing it. We doing it. We up. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince. Yeah, solo is the best way. That's why you don't have to worry about, you ain't got to worry about no accommodating people. You ain't got to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Do I have people calling into my show? Sometimes. I prefer to do it like on a Friday. All right, y'all, listen, we got to get back into the show. We got to get back into the swing of things. Dallas, I'm coming to y'all. Well, I'm coming to y'all city in September. So I'll be in Dallas in September. But we got to have something to talk about, Dallas. It's something that we got to bring to the front of the congregation. Let's get to it.
All right, some City of Dallas employees are going to have to work without pay as the city faces a massive budget shortfall.
And those workers just got news of forced furloughs. Dan Godwin live at City Hall to explain what's next. Dan.
Well, Brandon, the Dallas city manager says these furloughs are necessary because sales tax revenue on which the city relies has slowed, while the cost of keeping the city running continues to rise. As a result, about 4,200 non-uniformed city employees will be required to take 3 unpaid days off before the end of the budget year on September 30th. The mandatory furlough days will not apply to police officers, firefighters, paramedics, along with 911 operators. Sanitation workers are also exempt. The furlough days will be Friday, July 10th, as well as September 4th and September 28th. In addition, most non-uniformed city executives will be required to take 2 additional unpaid days off prior to September 16th.
I know that this news will be difficult to hear, but I want to speak to you honestly and directly to help close our current budget gap and avoid deeper cuts. Together.
Oh, let me back up for a minute. Who was this? The
Honestly
Dallas
and
city
directly
manager?
to help close our current budget gap and avoid deeper cuts. Together, we will work through this moment, and we will emerge stronger and more united as a Dallas team.
The current budget shortfall is about $30 million. City Manager Kim Tolbert said she and her staff will be spending the next several weeks working to deliver a balanced budget to the City Council in early August for the upcoming fiscal year. The furloughs follow a hiring freeze announced by the city in April. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson issued a statement saying, quote, "We must thoroughly examine every part of our city government for opportunities to reduce spending and improve efficiency." He added, Dallas literally cannot afford to maintain the status quo.
Let me tell y'all something about city budgets, okay? And I've been trying to teach y'all this, and I've been trying to have this conversation with y'all for a while now. I'm going to teach y'all something about city budgets. And I'm going to use my favorite punching bag, Chicago, as an example. When they put together a city budget, they're putting this budget together in anticipation of revenue, of income and revenue, right? Well, what does that mean, Anton? It means that they're anticipating that X amount of people are going to pay their property taxes. They're anticipating that they're going to generate X amount of dollars in revenue from sales taxes. They're anticipating that they're going to get X amount of revenue from commercial property taxes. They're anticipating that they're going to get X amount of dollars and that they're going to spend X amount of dollars in city police services. They're putting together a budget based off of A, anticipated revenue, and B, anticipated spending. So, for example, they say, well, we're going to have X amount of dollars for police officers, whatever, $2 billion for police officers, right? And so they say we're going to put a hiring freeze, but we're not going to get rid of all of the police officers. Well, it doesn't mean that you have adequate staffing. So a lot of police officers wind up working a lot more overtime because they still need the staffing, but they don't have the personnel, and so they go outside of the budget. Well, what happens when you go outside of the budget? Your projected revenue and your projected budget doesn't necessarily align with what you actually spend. So most people that are in government agencies, whether it's a city, whether it's a state, or whether it's the federal government, they literally misappropriate funds and cannot accurately project what they are going to spend or what they are going to take in. They do an estimation. And so when they're doing this budget, they say we have a projected budget deficit, a projected shortfall. The real numbers, we don't even go back and look at it. The real numbers, we don't ever come back and say, okay, so what did they actually spend? What did they actually go through? No, they don't. You know what they do? They just go into the next budget and they try to roll it over because they don't want to be accountable for mismanaging the money. Okay? So now what you see happening in Dallas, which Dallas is a liberal city. Dallas is a liberal city. Texas might be a red state, but Dallas is a blue city. Houston is a blue city. Austin is a blue city. All of these places are blue cities. I can have a budget projection, right? I could say, well, this is what I think that I'm going to make this year. So this is how I'm going to set my budget up. If anybody is a part of the Patreon, I did a video on the Patreon called, let me look it up, make sure that I get it. Because I taught y'all how not to budget your money like a regular person and how to start budgeting your money a little bit differently. Earlier, was it the budget like a millionaire? It might have been the budget like a millionaire video. And y'all can go into that. I'm not going to show y'all that. I'm not going to deep dive into that. But the point that I'm making is that the way that they look at their budgets in the city is the same way that they look at it when it comes to corporations. Corporations, here's the difference. Corporate comes back and they revise their budget based off of, or they revise their spending, or they revise what they think that their projected deficit or their projected profits are going to be based off of comparing it to the years before. And they do a quarterly review where they are accountable to the shareholders, right? So then they come back every quarter and they say, hey, listen, this was the analyst estimates. This is what we told you that we would do. We beat analyst estimates, or we beat projected estimates. And this is what our revised statement projections are going to be for the year. When it comes to how we're operating these government entities, we don't do the same. We don't do the same. We just say, hey, listen, we got to have furloughs. We in an emergency situation. They knew this way before this ever got this bad. They knew this way before it got this bad. They already seen this coming. They already knew it. It was already going to be a thing. This is not new to them. It's not new to them all. New to them at all. So now Dallas is trying to lay off / furlough 4,000 workers because they're trying to save themselves $30 million. And here's the other part that y'all really need to pay attention to. And you need to pay attention to it, especially if y'all live in some of these cities. Get involved. Go to the meetings. A lot of the meetings for these city council meetings, because the city council is just like Congress, you need to find out where they're spending the money, what their projected revenue is, how they're allocating the resources, and who's begging for money. Because it'd be these community service groups and people that's coming in there begging for money, and that's where they spending y'all money at. No matter what city, no matter what town you live in, you need to be paying attention because they're telling you how they're spending the money. And they're going to say, hey, listen, this is where we at. This is what we propose. This is what we're going to argue with the mayor. And they control the purse strings of the city. And I predict that there's going to be a lot of cities that go under. A lot of cities are going to be filing for bankruptcy within the next 5 to 10 years. A lot of major cities and smaller cities are going to be having a city manager and filing for bankruptcy and restructuring so that they can try to figure out how they can get their finances in order. It's going to be a lot of them. It's going to be a lot of them. I'm telling you, it's a lot of failing cities that's coming soon. They coming soon. It's coming sooner rather than later. Absolutely. That's a lot of failing cities coming. Some of them not going to be as visible. Other ones is going to be, you can't avoid it. It's happening. It's happening in real time right before our eyes. They don't have enough revenue. They don't have enough taxpayers. They got too much debt. And they don't know how to pay their bills. And they don't know how to manage the city effectively.
Live at City Hall, Dan Godwin on Good Day.
Dallas employees are having to give or take a significant hit to their budgets with 3 unpaid furlough days they must take.
Right. The first day civilian employees will go unpaid is next Friday. Fox 4's Lori Brown live at Dallas City Hall with the story. Lori.
Heather, these 3 unpaid days are going to be felt by Dallas employees right as they're trying to enjoy a summer vacation or buy back to school supplies. For an employee earning $66,000 a year, the 3 unpaid days will add up to more than $760.
I got the notification that, wow, the city's doing furloughs. I didn't even know.
Dallas City Council members blindsided with the city manager's decision to mandate unpaid furloughs for the city's civilian employees.
Well, my first reaction is there's a lot of different ways to handle budget challenges.
The furlough days for non-uniform employees will be July 10th and September 4th and 28th. The city manager said the unpaid days are necessary to protect jobs and city services from further cuts. Basil Dua says the furloughs are the result of mismanagement.
If this was absolutely needed, then why wasn't this the focus over the past several months when we've been having special called meetings, meeting after meeting?
Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson said in a statement that the move was taken in part because the city revenue has not met projections this year.
The city revenue has not met projections this year. The city's revenue has not met projections this year. Look, if you work for a government agency, know that you're not safe. Public jobs, city jobs, all of those type of jobs used to be the safe jobs. Those used to be the jobs where you may not make as much money as in the private sector, but you knew that you was going to be safe. Or if the economy or something happened, then you generally would lean into that and you were safer than a company that could just let you go because of AI spending or something like that, right? Here's the thing, Treya. This is not going to be a unique situation. This is not going to be a one-off. I believe that there has to be fundamental changes, layoffs, cuts, more furlough days, all of the above, all combined. There's going to be more of that coming. This is not going to be unique. It's not going to be unique. Telling you.
City Councilman Karen Mendelson says that's far from the only issue.
The revenue has increased dramatically in the years I've been on council, but we're spending $6.3 million on a tree inventory. I mean, I don't even know how you explain that. So there's spending all through City Hall that should drastically be reduced.
Basil Dua and Mendelson both told me that one of the many options to help fill the budget gap could be the city manager ending the search for a new city hall.
A vote was taken to devote $3 million to consultants just to figure out what to do with City Hall in the future.
This is not unique. This is not unique. This is how government contracts work. People, in most instances, don't realize how much money goes to consultants, how much money goes to research. We're going to spend $3 million to try to figure out what to do with City Hall in the future. This happens all day, every day. But let me tell you what really is the culprit is that mismanagement of funds combined with overspending and not generating enough revenue because they don't make it a business-friendly environment. Happens all day, every day, and y'all not going through the line items in the budget. And so now the city council in Dallas is showing up on these streams, trying to make it seem like they're sounding the alarm. They protecting themselves, they protecting their own butts. All of these things was already outlined in their approved budget prior to the shortfall. Y'all just not generating enough revenue. And if it wasn't more revenue being generated, y'all wouldn't even be having this conversation.
That's close to the amount of savings that we just were told we're going to have from furloughing all city employees. To me, it begs the question, is the city of Dallas's priorities intact?
Basil Duas says it is time for the city to give up on what he says was a fabricated City Hall problem to try to keep the Dallas Mavericks downtown.
Instead of recalibrating, refocusing our time and our efforts, we're digging our heels in, and at what expense?
Now they want to get mad at the sports teams in the city for keeping the sports teams downtown. Look, you got to keep the Dallas Mavericks, especially considering that the Dallas Mavericks, aren't they looking to build like a new stadium or a new headquarters and stuff like that that's centered around gaming and gambling and all of that stuff? Y'all already don't got the Cowboys. Cowboys is playing in Arlington, Arlington, Texas? Y'all already don't got the Cowboys, so y'all don't really have a team. The only team that y'all really holding on to is the Mavericks. If I'm running a city, right? If I'm running a state, if I'm running a city, the number one thing that I'm focused on is generating more revenue, bringing more jobs, and bringing more activity into the city. That's how you solve for making more money. You got to get more people in the door. You got to get more people on the payrolls as far as owning homes. You got to build up the population of the people so that they can pay the property taxes. You got to beef up the payroll taxes. You got to beef up the money, right? So the first thing that you have to do is you have to make more money. That's in regular life. That's in management. Yo, we got to generate more revenue because you can't cut your way to success. You can't tax your way to success and you can't cut your way to success. You have to have a strong balance sheet and you have to have strong revenue coming in, and we got to make it attractive for people. So you don't run out the people that's generating the revenue, because all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid over a gash. All right? You're putting a Band-Aid over the gash. So you don't let businesses leave, you incentivize them to stay. That's number one. The second thing is you got to cut everything that's not essential to you running the city and generating more revenue. Everybody needs to qualify for how they doing their job effectively, and we not going to continue to bloat the government. You got to run it like a business. You have to run it like a business. You can cut staff as much. If you're running a restaurant, you can keep cutting staff until you can't cut no more, but you need more customers and you got to be able to sell more products. So you need to be investing in the business while at the same time minimizing the amount of money that you're spending on things that you don't need. Anything that you need temporarily, that's what you outsource. That's what you get a temporary contractor for. You got to be working on both things at the same time, building the city back up while minimizing the amount that it takes to build the city. They need to be upgrading their technology. They need to be leveraging AI. They need to be doing all of these things. All of these things. But nope. You know what they're going to do? Furloughs, which don't do nothing.
Dallas Police, Fire, and 911 employees are exempt from the furlough. Trash pickup will also not be impacted. A citywide hiring freeze is already in effect. Dallas council members are going to start budget discussions for the next fiscal year in August. Stephen, Heather.
All right, Lori Brown, I'm glad you got into these projects that are nearly $1 billion. It's the justification is the mix-up is crazy. I don't think people understand where one money goes and one money can't go. But thanks for straightening that out. Appreciate it.
Dallas, come out and play. Dallas. Come out and play. Dallas. come out and play. Yep. Just like I've been predicting it. Just like I said it was going to happen. Just like I said that all of these cities were going to be in trouble. And it's starting to come to pass. And you're just now. The next wave is what people predicted wrong. People predicted that. Sorry, Siri, my bad. People predicted wrong that the next bust, the next recession, the next big wave of things that happen in the U.S. is going to be the housing market. Oh my God, there's going to be a run on the housing market. Nope. That's not what's going to happen. The next big run, the next big runs is the run on debt and the run on cities. The run on debt and the run on cities. It's going to be personal debt because we more in debt than we ever have been before. And the first domino to fall is going to be bankruptcies in cities. Cities are going to be, that's the next big thing. Not a pandemic, not the housing market. It's not going to be none of that. It's going to be a reorganizing of city finances, and it's going to be falling like a domino. And it's going to happen more often than you ever believe. I promise you. Now, you're going to have cities like New York. New York is in a unique position, in my opinion, because New York has so many people and so much revenue that they can kind of hide, or they can kind of endure through the socialism. And so you're going to think that Mom Donnie is doing a great job because he's delivering on campaign promises and speeches. But the fundamentals of the city itself, the fundamentals of the business still don't make sense. So it's going to be a longer fall, right? It's going to be a much longer fall from grace. Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, Philly, all of these cities are going to be going bankrupt. All of these cities are going to be going bankrupt. If you can look up a city and you can say, well, they've been in the budget deficit for this many years. They've been in the budget deficit for this many years, or they've been losing money for this many years. First, you're going to see a downgrade in their credit rating. You're going to see a downgrade in it. Now it's on the outside to everybody on a regular basis. They're going to think, oh no, the city is nice because the downtown is nice. All of this other stuff is nice, right? But here's the reality is that it's only so long and only so much money you can borrow and only so much debt that you can go into before eventually the finances don't make sense. Housing is not going to crash. That's not the play. People are not defaulting on their loans. They holding on to their low interest rates. It's one of the reasons why they're not selling. Housing is not going to crash. It's going to be the cities themselves. Now, the value of homes in those cities may go down based off of the details within the bankruptcies and stuff, but it's going to be the cities. The cities' finances are in shambles. It's not housing. Matter of fact, I would say that the majority, here's the key that you don't understand about housing. Most people that own homes own them out. Well, I'm not going to say most. I think it's like 50% of people that own homes own them outright. That's what y'all don't understand. 40%. 40% of homeowners own their homes completely clear with no remaining mortgage. That amounts to more than 33 million households. A lot of people in West Virginia, for example, 54% of homes are owned free and clear, closely followed by Mississippi. So a lot of people will talk about, for example, they'll say stuff like, well, you know, it may be poor here or this is happening here and stuff like that. Well, a lot of times they're not worried about the economic activity because they don't have to worry about financing. It's not as much money flowing around because you don't see people pulling money out of their homes and stuff. 40% of homes are owned free and clear. So that should be a red light that goes off in your head. Why? Because that means that there's some people, a large portion of people that's figured it the F out, and they not complaining about it on social media. They not over here telling you, hey guys, I own my home free and clear. They just being quiet. While y'all over there trying to figure out interest rates, pulling money out of homes and stuff, there's a large group of people that own their homes. 40% of U.S. homeowners own their homes. But guess what? You don't hear nothing about it. You know why you don't hear nothing about it? Because it's not popular to say that you're doing well in this economy. It's not popular to say that you're doing well. It's not popular. Even, look, Jay Graham, even if they try to raise property taxes, it's a cap, right? Because if you're a legacy owner of a home, it's a cap on how much they can raise property taxes. Now, the reason why they want a rotation, I shouldn't even be having this conversation with y'all right now, but we're going to talk about it. The reason why they want a rotation, they want y'all to buy homes. They want you to get a 30-year mortgage. They want you to refinance. They want you to get a HELOC. You know why? You know why they want to sell homes? It's not a good metric to determine whether or not people are struggling or not struggling. No, it's because that's how money circulates inside of the economy. That's how the banks make money. They get fees. That's how people make money as far as real estate. That's how you see a changing of hands. And more importantly, that's how the city generates more revenue. Anton, how does a city generate more revenue? Well, when you have a change in ownership from a purchase, that means that they have to reassess how much you're being taxed, because you're no longer being taxed based off of that legacy of owning the home for a significant amount of times. This is why I tell people, don't sell your grandmama's home. Don't give away your grandmama's home when she dies or whatever, your mother dies and y'all siblings is fighting over it. No, you're supposed to hold on to that, because the tax rate is going to be significantly lower than the person that purchased the property next. They want that to change hands. They want that to be a new purchase price. And that way they can go and they can make way more money in tax revenue, which goes into the cities and the counties' coffers. When you sell mama home, you mess up the money. Now, you don't mess up the money for the city. You don't mess up the money for the county. You don't mess up the money for this. You don't mess up the money for that. But when you keep your properties in the family and you figure out, practice group economics, go and stay together. Man, hey, this person need to be staying there, but we're not going to sell the property or anything like that. You keep a lower, the cost is significantly lower. You're better off renovating the house and making it new and making sure that it stands up for the next 50 years than you are going off and purchasing another one when you do the economics and the finances. But see, they're not going to tell you that. You know why? Because they want to sell more homes. And the more homes that they sell, the more that they raise property taxes. The more that they raise property taxes, the more that goes into the city coffers. Also, you get the banks popping off. Banks get to make money off fees. They get to make money off of interest. Also, you get the real estate agents. They happy. And so the circulation of the dollar is bad for you. It doesn't build wealth, right? It doesn't build wealth. The circulation of the dollar is meant to keep people that are in the middle class running in a rat race and poor. Why? Because you don't understand that the true cost of what it takes to continue to do this is costing you more money because you want to keep upgrading. So when all of the black people wanted to sell their homes and run out to the suburbs, and then when all of the white people ran back into the city, and now all of the black people want to run back into the city, you kicking your ass. You killing yourself. You're killing yourself. Why? Because we got a FOMO. We got to, keeping up with the Joneses. We got influences. We don't understand that we're subconsciously being programmed to become spenders instead of becoming assets, owners. And it's not just owning it, it's how you own it. It's what you do, right? It's how to prevent yourself from paying more in property taxes. It's how to do this. It's how to do that. It's not just about, owning a home or this and that. That's a baseline Dave Ramsey type of conversation, which is needed also. But it's a reason why you don't want the debt. The debt costs you money. And the more that you continue to say, you hear people use these same things, use other people's money to make money. You don't even know what that means. You don't even know what that means. You have no clue how that's being implemented because you don't have a proven track record of success. You don't have a blueprint for how you are supposed to be successful because you're just using talking points. And it's easy for y'all to just say this. Well, I'll tell you what, if it was so easy to do, right? If getting a 30-year mortgage and continuing to buy homes was so profitable, then why are so many people still struggling even though they've been buying homes for a long time? Why is there such a problem with people that generation after generation after generation, y'all still poor and y'all still broke? Have you ever sat back and said, man, we worse off than we ever been before, but we got more opportunity than we ever been before? And we try to rationalize it by saying, well, they bought their homes at this amount or whatever. Nigga, they was making $5 an hour. $11 an hour was a good job. They had a 17% interest rate on their homes. In the 80s, 17% interest. You know how crazy that sounds? Bro, if you did a 17% interest rate, people would lose their mind today. They would lose their mind. They bought a home, they lived in it, they raised their kids in it, and they stayed in it for their whole life. They didn't move. They didn't continue to give fees and transactions over to the banks. They didn't do creative financing. They didn't do any of that type of stuff. He cut his grass. He bought him a barbecue pit. He hung out in the garage. He kept that old car that he never fixed up and that he always brought out occasionally. He probably brought it out of the garage 3 times in a year, and he rode his Harley motorcycle to work every day, and they did okay. They did okay. They went through layoffs. They went through furloughs. They went through all of that back in the day too. Don't think for 1 second that they wasn't losing their jobs and they was going through all of it. But they was able to endure because they had stability. They had stability. What, you don't think that they had a gas crisis? Why do you think that we got the Fox body Mustang? Why do you think that we got away from the big Cadillacs and the big Corvette? Why do you think that the Corvette changed? Why do you think we got the Ford Pinto? The Ford Pinto, Fox body Mustangs, all of those cars, V6s, that wasn't a thing back in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. We had the bigger the car, the bigger the boat, the more luxurious you are. They simplified the cars because we had a gas crisis in the 80s. Guess what? Same play, 40 years later, we talking about the same thing, and you got a new generation that's complaining, and the people in the 80s was complaining about the people back then. Oh man, grandmama, grandpapa, they did the same thing. They had a gas crisis in the 80s where people were complaining about gas prices, interest rates, 17%, gas price. We doing the same thing. It's the same conversation over and over again, and y'all falling for the okie doke, and it's easy to get you to do so because when people die off, information is lost, and we're not focusing on transferring information so that people can really understand how money works and why you shouldn't and shouldn't do it. The word of God says in everything that you do, get understanding. We don't understand why we doing it. We doing it because it sounds nice, because everybody else been telling us this is what we should do. And everything you do, get understanding. That's the word. Understand why you're doing it. Don't just do it because somebody else told you to do it. Don't do it because it sounds good. You need to understand. Let's break down the finances, break down the economics. This is what we do. When we go in, the reason why I've never missed in the Patreon, the reason why every single thing that I talk about, whether it's the companies that we invest in, the stocks, or the real estate that we get into, we win, we hit every single time. The reason that we hit is because the fundamentals are the same. The numbers is the numbers. You can't change them. It doesn't change just because you feel a certain type of way about it. The numbers is the numbers. The debt is the debt. The amount of shares outstanding is the shares outstanding. The price, the valuation of it, how many times, multiplied times of the price of the share, it's the same. The fundamentals of the company, the projections, the disruptions, the management, it's all a formula and it works. It works 10 times out of 10. We just don't give it enough time, and we get so dissatisfied with sitting down for 5 seconds and enduring long enough to get to the other side of the conversation. It's unfortunate. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to have a different perspective. It's hard to not be peer pressured. It's difficult. It's hard as hell. It's difficult as hell to break away from the culture in the matrix to say, you know what? I'm 40 and I'm broke. And I'm tired of begging the government for reparations. I don't want to spend the next 40 years doing the same 40 years that I just did. What do we need to do differently? Before I pass this generational curse over to my child and have them thinking the exact same way. It's hard to get out of your own way and to endure to see it through. Every dream that I have right now is hard, it's difficult. I have never had a season in my life, a year in my life where it's been easy. You know why? Because I understand that it's not worth having unless it's going to be difficult to achieve it. So let's say, for example, I make X amount of dollars and I say, you know what? I'm doing well. Everything is awesome. But I have to push myself because I understand that on the other side of pushing yourself is paradise. So now I say, well, you know what? This year I'm going to build 3 houses and it's going to cost me about $1.X million, whatever, right? And I was talking to my daughter today and she said, well, Dad, what's the goal? And I said, ultimately, I want to build 100 houses. And she said, what does that translate to? Well, I said, well, based off of my projections in the future, if I'm making somewhere between $2,300 and $3,000, let's just go it on the high end. And we having these whole conversations, right, before she go to her competition. And I said, well, let's say you got 100 houses and you own them 100% outright, right? And let's just use $3,000 as a result of it. And she said, okay. And the reason that we had this conversation is because she was telling me, yeah, you know, dealing with this particular tenant, because I got her integrating into the business and learning more about the business. And she said, yeah, this tenant always calling. They always got a phone call or whatever, so on and so forth or whatever. And she said, why we don't do a property management company? And I said, well, if we do a property management company, then we would have to give 10 to 15% of whatever our profits are or whatever the rent is to them for them to manage it. And she was like, So I started calling her Scrooge. I said, that's why your name is Scrooge McLess. So she starts laughing. She said, so what's the ultimate goal? I said, well, we want to trend towards 100. So we're going to have to double the amount of homes that we're building almost every single year in order for us to get there in X amount of time. And she said, well, how does that work financially? I said, well, imagine that you're making $3,000 per unit at 100 homes. That's essentially $300,000 a month in revenue, especially if you don't have a mortgage. I said, now let's break that down. If we giving that over, and I'm teaching her, I said, now if we giving that over to property management company, how much you giving to them? She said, $30,000. She said, we're not giving $30,000 a month away. I said, that's the goal, to ultimately generate $300,000 a month in revenue in this particular business venture, right? And so now we have to start breaking down, okay, if this is the projection of where we want to be, how do we get there? It's difficult. It's difficult. It's hard. It's hard. You know why? Because we can go out there and build a mansion, or we can go out there and get a Bugatti, or we can go out there and spend some money and do some things, but we got to try to have a balance. Well, we do want to live a good life, but at the same time, we want to build this thing and we don't want to do it with debt. So how do we do it? That means that we got to make more money. We got to put more money into it. If we want to double it for next year, we got to finish these projects this year, and then we got to increase the revenue, and we got to roll the money back into the business so that we can continue to build it up. And that's how you build wealth. And it's hard. It's hard. You know why? Because your dreams are bigger, and you've developed the discipline because you see what the results are on the other side. But it's hard for people to get started because they don't get those immediate results, and we are an immediate people. We got a lower attention span, we got a longer runway, and we don't have the patience to see it through. So we don't have no vision for our lives. We don't have no reward system, right? And so it's very difficult for people to be able to see it through without doing some shortcut. And that's where we get YOLO. You know what? Forget it. You only live once, live your life. Let's do what we want to do. Let's just have fun. We ain't gonna worry about tomorrow. Give it to Jesus. God got me. No, you lying. That's an excuse. God gave you a task to see through, and he's giving you multiple examples in the word on how they were able to do it over a period of years. He did not say you abandon ship and just lean on me. He said, finish the task that I gave you in order for you to be fruitful. And you know what we did? No, you ain't got to do that. All you got to do is praise God. That's why I said that people are lazy. When they lean into the church, they're using it as an excuse to not be fruitful. They're using it as an excuse to not be fruitful. The word says the race isn't given to the swift, is given to he who endureth to the end. Endureth to the end. It's not given to people just because you like it or just because it feel good or because you think that your purpose is based off of something that makes you happy at the time. It's based off of what you're supposed to be doing because you know that the fruit is at the end of the table, but you don't want to endure long enough and you waiting on somebody to give it to you instead of you finishing the task that he gave to you. And that's why we are unfocused and we're not serious about what we're supposed to be doing in the culture. That's why we messed up. That's why we curse. We curse ourselves by not following the commandments and the path that is given to us. You so worried about what somebody else think. How come we want more worried about what the world think instead of what God think? How you gonna be more concerned about what the culture think than what your creator think? But they gonna talk about me. I can't stand the comments. So what? That's what the devil do. He pick at you until you get distracted from the thing that you're supposed to do, and then hopefully he can win you over. But Anton, they said this about you. So what? We got something that we got to do. We got a task that we got to win. But Anton, they feeling some type of way and they lying about you. So what? They lied on Jesus. They lied on every single person that was in the word. When did we start caring more about what people think that we ain't never seen before, especially these little trolls on the internet, more than we cared about our tasks, more than we cared about our sons and our daughters, more than we cared about the people that was coming after us, more than we cared about the saints, more than we cared about the people that work for us, more than we cared about creating a path for somebody that we don't even know that got to come through and save souls. Maybe your goal is not to be the one that actually is the preacher. Maybe your goal and your purpose is to create the space for somebody that's going to actually come through and save the people. You're not the savior. You're the path clearer. But you don't want to finish your job and get your crown. So we so focused on being the center of attention, but you the person that's supposed to be behind the person that's doing what they supposed to do, but you're not doing your job. So they can't do their job because you ain't finished your task. You just busy doing shit. You supposed to be fruitful. The words say you gonna know them by their fruit. What have you produced? You fucking 40 years old and you ain't got shit. What have you produced? And don't say them badass kids because they saved by grace. It ain't because of you. You ain't got nothing to show for it. You just show up every day and you troll. Because you ain't got nothing better to do. You worthless. You're worthless when it comes to the oxygen that you breathe. What have you done that calls for you to deserve to get more? You ain't been faithful in nothing. You ain't got your kids through nothing. They can't depend on you. They got a bunch of debt. They messed up. The kids suffer as a result of the parents. If your kid is messed up, that means that somewhere along the line in your lineage, y'all are trash. But we keep on trying to blame everybody else. Somebody else. If white people got that much dominion over you, then what you talking about you love God? How you gonna give somebody dominion over you that you don't even know? What's the point of praising God? How is God the head of your life and he ain't got no control over what's going on in your life? What is going on? Men walking around over-sexualized, addicted to video games and drugs and hoes and don't know how to cut it off and say, you know what? Let me go and take care of business. Spend more time chasing hoes and on GTA than taking care of your motherfucking kids. Your kids are bad and they need you and they crying out for you. And we sitting here having a conversation about some goddamn video games. I'm so disgusted. I hate y'all. I hate the way that you go about doing things and you think that I'm supposed to pay attention to you? For what? We shouldn't even be in the same room together. Why would I entertain this foolishness? Anton, put me on. Put you on to what? You don't have nothing. You don't have nothing for me to put you on with. How can I help you when you don't have no ability to help yourself? All right, man, give me a product. All right, man, well, give me something that I can deal with. Give me something that I can push. Give me something I promote. Oh, I ain't ready yet, but I'm gonna get there, big dog. Hey, Anton, how can I be on the panel? How can I be on the panel? All right, well, send me your Instagram. Send me what you got. You been working on it? You got something I can refer to? No. So you want me to take a chance on you when you ain't took a chance on yourself? You want me to put my reputation and my platform that I work day in and day out, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I live, eat, sleep this. I eat, sleep, and grind. And I'm supposed to take what I built and give it to you because what? Because you black? What you talking about? Because you black? Because I owe you something and I ain't never met you before? When you gonna take a chance on yourself? Always looking for somebody to invest in you. You don't need a small business loan. You need to rein in your spending and stop spending on these hoes. Invest in somebody else's product of a digital man that's going to be on the TV so that they can go and play a video game. You more obsessed with that than actually you ain't got no money in your 401k. You don't know what a Roth 401k is. You ain't never invested in a stock. You don't own nothing. You rent your place from somebody else and y'all going to sit here talking about, man, you acting like everybody ain't got money. Nigga, show me. Where? Where the money at? Where the money at? Where is the money? Where is it? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Honest to God, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand why we are in this space in 2026. We got AI. We're literally building artificial intelligence and you poor. Can't even send your chick to the doctor. Can't put $1 in somebody else's pocket and think that you deserve to be able to say something to somebody else about how they should live their life. Master your craft. Master your craft. Put your 10,000 hours in. Master your craft and put your 10,000 hours in. It's cool to be entertained. It's cool to have fun. It's cool to go out. But don't miss. Don't think that you're supposed to miss or sacrifice what you're supposed to be doing just because you out. It's a time and a place for everything. Right now, the time is to grind. The time is to hustle. Sometimes it's a time to go and play and have fun, but that's after we get our work done. We don't play until after we get our work done. I apologize for the cursing. I apologize for my misstep in my language today. I do. Sometimes I get super passionate and I can't stop from what I'm about to say, and so I apologize for that. However, the message is the message, and I'm still saying the same thing. Our kids need us. Our employees need us. Our girls need us. Our sons and our nephews and our people need us. And if we ain't got nothing to give them, if they come begging for bread and we don't have nothing to feed them, then that means that we not doing our job. If you ask me for something and I ain't got nothing to give you, then that means that I'm not doing my job. And I'm only saying this because I want what's best for you. I don't get anything out of saying this. It's much easier for me to be able to just do a video and review it and then give you my insight on what I think is right or wrong. But sometimes I just feel so passionately about people doing better because you're better than your circumstance. You're better than your neighborhood. And I said this years ago. You're better than the race that you are. You're better than your uncontrollables. What can you control in your life to where you say, you know what? I did that. Nobody gave me it. I did that. I didn't need a handout. I did that. I created a space to where I'm going to be the person that gives instead of always being the person that begs. And some people going to get it, but as long as one person hear it, some people not going to get it. Everybody can't come. Somebody is going to listen to this and they're going to go back to doing what they was already doing. And then it's going to be other people that hear it and they're going to say, you know what? I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. I'm not supposed to be living in this. I'm not supposed to be regular. I'm not supposed to be living in the same space or being in the same space as everybody else. I'm supposed to be better. You supposed to be better. We all supposed to be better. I overlooked my life and I did a once over and I said, you know what? This month is going to be the greatest month of this year for me. Ain't nowhere in the world that I'm not supposed to be better than I am right now. And so I got to be on it. I got to get on it. That's all. Sorry for cussing. I apologize. I got to hold myself accountable for that. Long Way ENT says, I just got furloughed for a week. We call it shutdown. Wesley Turner in the building says because business people will end up having to take the reins when things crumble under failed leadership by people who don't understand business or money. And that's how they get richer, to be honest with you. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, thoughts on Joe Budden, $500 tier. I seen that. So what TS Car Wash and Detail Service is talking about is people hit me up all the time and they say, Anton, there's fake accounts of you or people are using your clips on TikTok or Instagram. And I largely am cool with it because I think it's free promotion, right? They pushing me in the algorithm. They create more visibility for me. That's one of the ways that Neon and a lot of these streamers use to get big is that they allow for people to use their content to react to or to clip it up for other platforms like TikTok and Instagram, right? And I don't stop people from doing it, and I'm cool with it. I say people shouldn't steal my content without reacting to it on YouTube. But other than that, I don't really trip about it. My two caveats is don't steal it to act like it's yours on YouTube, number one. And number two, I say, don't act like you me. Like, don't finesse the people with a fake account and then you be a Nigerian scammer somewhere trying to finesse people out of money. That's not me, all right? So outside of that, I'm cool with people leveraging the content in order to create more visibility. That's why I'd be cool when people be going off on me or when people is feeling some type of way, people will hit me up and say, hey, Anton, this person is talking about you. Well, then that means that they're getting me more emotion and more visibility. That's why I did 7.5 million views in 2 days, just 2 days ago. That's why I do 70 to 80 million views minimal a month, right? I'm going to do numbers. I'm going to do numbers all day, every day. But part of the reason is that I allow for people to use my content, react to it, trip out on it. I don't trip about it, all right? So a lot of these other streamers, the Adrian Broners, the Dean DeGrace, the DDGs and all of them, they have a system where they kind of pay clippers, or they've been using clippers or paying clippers and allowing clippers to take their content and put it on different platforms, right? Joe Budden is trying to reverse it because Joe Budden has largely been in a space where he has not allowed for people to use his content or react to his content or anything like that. And you kind of got to finesse it a little bit in order to react to what Joe Budden is saying, right? So Joe Budden now is creating a system, kind of like how Pop the Balloon was trying to do. Joe Budden is creating a system. And I don't mind. If you making money off of clipping me up and stuff like that, listen, that's how the economy rolls, baby. You make money, I get more visibility, I make money, everybody eat, B. I'm going to create the good content. You leverage the content in order to promote it. You get more motion, you get views as a result of clipping up good content. I get more visibility as free promotion. It all works. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to stop nobody from eating. Only thing I'm asking is that people just kind of be a little bit careful. Don't pretend like you me, A. You know what I'm saying? And then B, don't just take my stuff and just post it on YouTube without reacting to it. Other than that, man, listen. Take the content, react to it, and anything that's public that I do on YouTube, take the content, react to it, clip it up, run up a bag, create a platform, and make as much money as you possibly can. Get millions of views and make a whole bunch of money. I'm with it. I'm with it. I understand how money works. It's literally ground organic marketing. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden is, in my opinion, a little bit greedy. Joe is trying to say, listen, if you want to be a clipper for my content, then pay me $500 a month. Pay me $500 a month. So basically, Joe is trying to make money off of people that are trying to make money off of Joe. Now, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if Joe got enough motion to where you can justify paying him $500 a month in order to clip up the content. I don't know if that works. You know what I'm saying? I guess we're going to find out. The Pop the Balloon podcast tried to do something similar to that. It wasn't $500 a month. I don't remember how much it was. But people just completely was like, nah, we straight. We ain't even going to react to that no more. Joe has been limiting people. And again, he could do whatever he wants with his content. I'm not saying that he shouldn't. But he's been limiting people and he's trying to charge people $500 a month to clip up his content. Some of y'all, now I'm about to give you the game, because I don't want everybody else making money and y'all not making money. Some of y'all feel like y'all need to be on panels. Some of y'all feel like y'all need to be content creators. Some of y'all feel like, you need to be the face, or, hey, I want to start my own podcast. But some of y'all need to be getting this clipper money. It's people that's buying whole cribs, Lambos, Ferraris, all kind of cars, and they making money not even being the face. They making money being on the back end. They making money, you know what I'm saying, by mining out the content and figuring out how they can promote somebody else, and they running up a bag that way. Maybe y'all might be doing it. Maybe some people might be doing it wrong. Y'all need to learn how to make money in other ways, because there's more than just being the face or being the person that's clipping it up. I give you permission. I say, yeah, clip that up. Throw it out there. Drop it every day. Put it out there. Get your money. And not only from me, get it from other people. Do other people too. It's people that DM me all the time and say, Anton, can I clip your content? And I don't think that they bag chasers. I just think that they regular people. And so I try to figure out if they bag chasers or not, because I don't, if I'm gonna give the game, it's gonna be to the people that I truly love. But I don't know if Joe, I don't know if it makes sense financially to do it, because I don't know what the return on investment is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So if you can create a system that allows for you to be able to benefit, then that's what you leverage. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? I look at everything from a business perspective. Let me see something. Let me pull it up. Joe clipping. Give me a second. Mm. Mm. I don't know. I can't find the actual deep dive conversations. Joe Clippers.
$500 surcharge for the community members that want to use this content. So he's charging the Clippers. I like this. I can't even lie. I like this. I like this. I like this, bro. I like this. Okay. Now, I would never do it with my community, but I do like the fact, hey, Joe's community is the most robust community. Eventually, industry leader, disruptor, has now instituted a $500 surcharge for the community members that want to use this content. So he's charging the Clippers. I like this. I can't even lie. I like this. I like this. Joe, industry leader, disruptor, has...
And in return, creators benefit from the extra exposure.
I can't deal with that type of stuff. I gotta see an actual video.
Hey, what to do with it? That has pretty much been
post their content because the thought is the more your content is out there, get you more popular.
Right.
Joe, industry leader, disruptor, has now instituted a $500 surcharge for the community members that want to use this content. So he's charging the Clippers. I like this. I can't even lie. I like this. I like this. I like this, bro. I like this. Okay. Now, I would never do it with my community, but I do like the fact, hey, Joe's community is the most robust community. Eventually, he's running like a test that I don't know if I would ever adopt, but I can't wait till like he's like knocking for like $200 on the patrol, the Patreon, the $200 a month for the Patreon. That's what, you know what I mean? Pay a little rent for the Patreon.
Now if it's just preventing copyright.
Joe is charging social media clippers $500 a month. His business partner, Ian, has created a business empire with the Joe Budden podcast following a lucrative deal with Spotify. The two decided to take the podcast to Patreon, where fans can pay for bonus content. Some episodes are locked behind Patreon, meaning you will have to pay to listen. Overall, the fan base has mixed reactions to the Patreon model. Some fans don't mind supporting it. Meanwhile, others feel as though it is a slap in the face, especially when you consider Budden's anti-industry stances from back in the day. Throughout the Patreon era, there's been an increase in what you would call clippers. These are accounts on X, Instagram, and TikTok that post clips from the podcast. Oftentimes, these clips come from episodes or videos on demand that are locked. See, I don't agree with that. Don't touch my Patreon content. Don't touch my stuff on Patreon. All right? You can touch anything else. I create a ton of content for the regular outside, but don't touch my Patreon stuff. Profit is being left on the table. The Clip accounts are making money off of his show. Now he's looking to flip the script. As of today, he will be charging Clippers $500 a month to license his content. If you don't pay the $500 per month, you can expect your Clip account to be taken down with some copyright claims. And this is what it is. $5 a month for content licensing for creators who need rights to use longer Joe Budden clips. License longer clips for YouTube and social media platforms. Usage right for commentary, reactions, and edited content. Unlimited clips and clip length with creator-friendly approvals. Support for branded, sponsored, and reoccurring content needs. Everything in premium when available. That's crazy. Paying $500 a month to be able to clip and to react to his content? Yeah, that's crazy. Shout out to him. I mean, I don't disagree with capitalism. What's the word that I'm looking for? The business model will tell you if it works or not. In capitalism, if the people support it or if the people do it, then that will tell you whether it's a success or a fail. If he can make money from it, then cool, make money from it. For me personally, if you want to clip up my stuff and use it for Instagram, TikTok, or X, you're more than free to do so. That's just for me personally. If you take anything from the Millionaire Morning Show, anything from After Hours, and you want to clip it up and you want to use it to get traction or motion on X, TikTok, or Instagram, the only thing I ask you to do is give me a shout out. Just say, you know what I'm saying, this is Anton said this, or Anton Daniels, or the Millionaire Morning Show. That's the only thing I ask, is to give a shout out. If you give me a shout out and you clip it up for those 3 platforms, on YouTube, I would prefer for you to do a reaction. But if you clip it up and you use it for any of those other platforms, God bless you. I hope you make $1 trillion doing it. Just throw me a shout out, and if you can, throw me a link back. All right? That's all I'm asking. Because I appreciate you for even showing me love in the first place. And make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off the first order. 20% off of life. Let me read some of these super chats. Good question, TS. AR's back says, my parents own their Rosedale Park house. They were featured in Black Enterprise. Oh, your parents is in Rosedale Park. It's a phenomenal neighborhood here in Detroit. Harold Burns says, listening for 2 to 3 months, learning AD, sent you a gift via USPS. Oh, snap. I'm going to have to check that out. All right, bet. I got you. Thank you. Javi says, or Javi says, bro, my first car was a 1980 doo-doo brown Dodge Omni. Purchased a 1990 joint, was great on gas. Some 80s cars came from that. Chadford Moore says, this is where I disagree when it comes to home buying. 17% interest rate on an $80,000 home is cheaper than the 700% interest rate on a $500,000 home. Interesting. We can argue that. I argue that all day. Grizz, shout out to Grizz, says, you bring it today, boss. Shout out to you. I hope y'all like that I continue to try to put this information out there for you. Crimson, my girlfriend, says, you better talk, sir. Preach. What's up, Crimson? Snow Bunny Bag Chaser says, salute, King. I needed your word today. Here's your flowers. Love you the long way. Damn, I love being loved the long way. Chase the Alpha says, Tana's cooking. Shout out to Chase the Alpha. Tony Nichols in the building says, Anton, you have released diamonds of wisdom. Who would dare be so foolish to not to pick up the gems you've dropped? Appreciate it. What happened? Oh, man. Molly, I appreciate you. Thank you to my girl, Molly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring up the previous super chats. I lost them. Oh. I don't know what happened. Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry, y'all. For whatever reason, it messed up on me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. All right. Well, listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me see something. Yeah. I apologize, y'all. I apologize I wasn't able to get all of the super chats. Shout out to y'all. And let me say this also, long way ENT. You know what else is interesting? Let me see something. You know what else is interesting? I've never raised the prices. I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I've never raised the prices. Never raised the prices. All right. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I am going to see y'all tonight on After Hours. Gotta lock in. Got a lot of work to do. All right. Peace. Courtney Egger says, I hope I'm making the people proud with the content. We're going to continue to grind through. Shout out to Courtney Egger. I appreciate you, bro. All right, y'all. We out.